What up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. How you guys doing? I hope y'all are doing well. Thank y'all so much for being here once again. So listen, happy Friday. It is Friday. Friday came quick. I hope y'all are doing well. I hope y'all are enjoying your day. Shout out to everybody who's watching this, everybody who's in the building. I appreciate you guys. Listen. Today is not going to be a super long one, but I wanted to make sure I popped up here on Friday because I promised that I would be here on Fridays, and I'm here. So shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure as you come into the building, you hit the like button. Make sure you thumbs up the stream. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. You guys, make sure you are doing that as you come into the building. Also, if you are new to the channel and you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It is free to subscribe, share, and like the stream and the videos and all that good stuff. Make sure you guys are supporting in that way. So make sure you're doing that. Also, turn on your notification bell so that you'll be notified when I go live or post new content. Yeah, so make sure you guys are doing that as well. Shout out to C. Irving. C. Irving in the building. What's going on, C. Irving? Black Man 1428. What's going on? The morning show. Oh, that's me. The morning show with DeeDee. Make sure you go over and subscribe to my second channel, you guys. The morning show with DeeDee, if you haven't already. I will definitely soon be posting new content over there. So we are live on both the channels. Make sure you are subscribed to that channel as well. Ryan Wedlow in the building. The Mega St. Patrick Show says F with DeeDee so hard. She keep it all the way. Shout out to you, Mega St. Patrick Show. Thank you for the support. I appreciate you for being here. Lorenzo Redmond. Gina's Homely Meals. How are you? Thank you so much for being here. Good to see you. Hustler in the building. Hustler and Muscular. OG right there. Thank you so much for being here, Hustler. Frank G Life. What's going on? Monty Gilliam. I hope I'm saying that right. Monty Gilliam. What's going on? Thank y'all so much for being here. Make sure as you come into the building, you're hitting the like button. Y'all, look at the title. So the title was saying from virgin to baby mama, I was tricked plus more. So we're going to hop right into the topics for today's discussion. I have a few clips, of course, that I want to share with you guys. Before we get into that, I want to say rest in peace to D'Angelo. You guys, I know you probably already have heard that D'Angelo passed away. They're saying he had cancer, right? A battle with cancer. He was only 51 years old, you guys. I was a fan of his work, of his music, and it's unfortunate that he has passed away at only 51. 51 is not super old, but that was unfortunate. That was a shock. I was shocked to hear that. And the fact that, you know, he actually dated Angie Stone, and she passed away some months ago, right? And it's unfortunate what happened to her and also with him. So I was very shocked to hear this. I had no idea that he was suffering with cancer. And from what I'm hearing, I don't know what you guys have heard. I think they said he found out. They said a battle with it, but I don't think he knew he had it for the longest. I don't know. But it's unfortunate that he is no longer with us. Rest in peace. Much blessings and condolences to his family. You know, I know he has children and things of that nature. And, you know, so yeah, this was unfortunate. This is something that I didn't see coming. You know, you don't know what's going on with people. But I just wanted to say, rest in peace to D'Angelo. Yeah, that was just, I was shocked and I wasn't ready for that one, y'all. So yeah, rest in peace to him. So I wanted to just at least acknowledge him on this channel because I was definitely a fan. All right. So we're going to move on, you guys, with the topic. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to all of you guys. Make sure y'all and girls. I always say guys, but I say guys in reference to everybody. I might have to change that because some women who watch me get offended by that. It's not like I'm just speaking to the guys and that's just it. You know how people say guys and they reference everybody? That's just what it is. But maybe I might have to change that and just start saying something else. You know, shout out to all of y'all. How about that? Everybody, the guys and the girls. How about that? You know, because I'm talking to everybody. I appreciate everybody who watch and supports the channel, male or female. You know what I mean? So it's just I'm so used to saying guys. I think it came from my beauty days when I did beauty content. I used to be like, hey guys. That's when I was like trying to, you know, use my white voice, I guess. I don't know. I was talking a little different back then. You know, we all was like, it was like a standard in the beauty world where everybody say, hey guys, how are you doing? Welcome to my channel. You know, I did that. I did that for a minute. And I got used to doing it. So now I say guys a lot and I'm going to have to change that. And I'm not just, when I say that for the women who follow me, because there are women who watch and women who actually like my content. Surprise, surprise. But shout out to them. I'm referencing everybody. It's just not just the men. You know what I mean? Anyway, I just wanted to point that out. But anyway, let's keep it moving, y'all. Thank you, Frank G. Life. Yeah. Some people don't get it, though. They think I'm just talking, oh, well, your channel ain't for me because you only talking to the men. No, I'm talking to everybody. Everybody who has an ear to listen and want to listen if you're interested. If not, I'm okay. You know, if you don't like the content, I no hard feelings. You know, for those that do enjoy it, I'm here. For those who don't, no love lost. I still, you know, we can still be cool. You know, it ain't no hurt feelings or anything like that. You know, everything ain't for everybody. It's really not, because I know there's some stuff that I wouldn't dare watch or support because I'm just not into it. But it's not a personal thing. You know what I mean? I don't take it personal. It's entertainment at best. And then hopefully, if there's something you can learn, that would be great. That would be great. Because the point is to maybe lend a new idea to somebody who may not have heard a different perspective. That's where I'm coming from. Offering or lending a different perspective to people who may not have heard something different. And maybe there's something you could learn from it or grow from it or get from it. And if not, it's up to you whether you want to patronize it or not. You know what I mean? That's how real life, real talk, real life. Everything ain't for everybody. I'm not for everybody. I'm certainly, I know other people, certain people I don't care to watch or whatever, but it's no hard feelings. It's not deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I rock with the people who rock with me. And if you don't want to rock with me, it's okay. Find something that edifies you, something that interests you, or something that you like. And if ratchet, ghetto, male bashing content is what you like, then so be it. Who am I? I can't tell you what to do. You know what I'm saying? That's your business. That's your business. All right, y'all. So enough of that. We're gonna hop right into the first clip that I have for you guys. Gina says, "Just be you. We still love you." Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I really do. Let's hop into this first clip. Now she's talking kind of low in this clip, y'all. Just to let you know, I raise it up as high as I could, the volume. So you got to pay attention to what she's saying because she's talking a little low. But we're gonna hop right into the first clip and pay attention to what she's saying. Here we go.
I really wish is that for you men to be honest with women from the beginning. I've been battling this for years, crying for years, because I went from a virgin at almost 30 years old to a single mother. And it hurts me because I've been silent for too long. And all I hear people say is they disrespect women and mothers all the time. But they don't never talk about how men lie and deceive women. And they don't even want to be with them. I wish I would just be honest with women before the trauma begins. So I went from a virgin to almost 30 years old to a single mom, to be in trauma, to be in survival mode. That's what obsessed me the most. Like, I was a good girl my whole life, loyal to people that deceived me the most. And that's what messes me up the most. Like, I didn't even have a choice whether or not to be in survival mode. But you men don't care, you just move on to the next. You don't care who you put in survival mode. And y'all not trying to elevate at all. You're not trying to be with any woman. You're not trying to be with the woman that you really want to be with. Because you play games. You all play games for generations to come.
Okay. I mean,
this is exactly what it looks like.
Hold on, sister. Did y'all get what she was saying? So basically, she was saying she was a virgin to almost 30 years old, and she ended up apparently, and I'm assuming, she gave the cooch up to a guy that she liked, right? So she was intimate with a man, and apparently she got pregnant. And the dude wasn't really serious about her. So they're no longer in a relationship. And now she's a baby mama. And she's saying men need to stop playing games and stop creating trauma victims, I guess, because she looks traumatized and she sounds traumatized. She really do. She sounds distraught. And so she wants men to stop playing games so that they don't traumatize women who don't know what they're doing, I guess, and don't see red flags and don't know how to vet men properly. And she want men to stop doing that. Now, I will say this just to keep it honest. There are some men out here who play games. No doubt. And I think it's 2025, damn near 2026. Women know this. I mean, she's 30 years old. So and I know everybody, you know, and I don't want to sound like I'm not empathetic to her. In a sense I am, but in a sense I'm not, because, and I'm about to tell you why. At 30 years old, where is your father? Where is your guidance to teach you and tell you about the men that will try to manipulate and use you? If you was a virgin for 30 years, you know what I'm saying, till you 30 years, why didn't you get married? Like, if you holding out, why wouldn't you hold out for your husband? Somebody that's going to commit to you, somebody that you vet properly, somebody that you know, if you waited all that time before you were intimate with somebody, I would think you will wait even more to vet the proper guy to be your husband, and then you do it. If you're going to do it, go all the way. So she sounds like, and she looks traumatized, and I feel sorry for her for that. But we have some of the most educated women by their own admission, even though we know that's not the truth, but that's what they want to believe. But y'all are only educated in what? Twerking? Because I mean, when it comes to really paying attention to men, understanding relationships, understanding the nature of people and vetting people and not giving in too soon to a person, that seems to be the most difficult thing for these educated modern women to do. So we got to look at that. We can't just ignore that. Y'all are the most educated in your minds. But when it comes to the things that matter, y'all are lost in the sauce, and y'all don't know how to vet. You get confused. You lose your every sense of, you know, sense that you have kind of goes out the window when it comes to men. Y'all talking about how men will take advantage of you, you know, and y'all say men are at the bottom of the barrel and they're this and they're that and they're the lowest of the low. But y'all keep sleeping with the lowest of the low. Y'all keep falling for the ones that take advantage of you and manipulate you. You still don't know how to maneuver around the issues that y'all are constantly complaining about. And I don't think that anybody should take advantage of anybody. Y'all know I say this all the time. I think you should be honest with your intentions, but we know everybody is not going to do that. You can't go out into this mean old world and just think that everybody's going to do what you believe and think that they should do. Come on now. That's being delusional. That's being delusional and unrealistic. You know, there are people out here who don't give a damn about your morality or what you think. They're going to do what they want to do. Everybody is not going to do things and follow the rules or do things the way you think they should. So you got to understand that, hey, you can't force them to. There are going to be men, women, people in general who are going to try to manipulate you, try to take advantage of you. They got scammers out here all day, every day. But if you're walking around oblivious to that and not, you know, doing your part to shield you from the scammers and the ones that will take advantage of you, you're just a walking target who claims to be educated, but you're not educated in all things, because you don't have enough education to be able to sit back to say, you know what, let's sit back and watch what he's saying, what he gonna do, or watch her. You know, y'all speak as if you know all and you're so smart and you're better than men and you're smarter than men, but and to be honest, and I'm not being mean, but y'all really don't move and act like you're better than men. Y'all keep saying this, but men are just still running circles around y'all. The ones who want to take advantage of you are able to do it. And y'all be crying and still sitting back wondering why they do it. Because they can. And because you let them. So it seems to me, in spite of the fact that a lot of these women keep claiming they're so educated, y'all need to go back to school. Jesus, baby. Oh my God. Y'all need to go back to school and learn the streets. Stop going getting these business degrees and all these, because y'all selling these lashes online and you're really not employing anybody and really building these businesses like y'all saying. Stop going get these LLCs and these you know what I'm saying, these DBAs and stuff, and saying y'all in business selling lashes and you ain't making no money and nobody work for you. Y'all need to go back to school, the hard knock life school of learning the streets and men, because y'all keep getting duped by these so-called dusties. Y'all keep getting, they're running circles around you, and y'all still crying and left holding the bag. I mean, they knocking y'all up and giving y'all babies, and y'all falling right into the trap that y'all keep complaining about. Where is the knowledge? Where's these degrees are not helping you in that area. Y'all need to go back to, you need charm school. You need the hard knock life school of life in the hood. Y'all need man training. Y'all need women training. Y'all need to go to that type of school so that you can level up. Y'all don't level up with your education, and it ain't really doing much for you. But y'all need to go level up in these other ways so these men can stop running circles around y'all, so they can stop making y'all look like fools. And I'm just saying, because it's sad to keep seeing these women on here crying about a man taking advantage of them. But y'all just sitting here, just keep letting them over and over and over. Men are the problem and this and that. No, apparently y'all are the problem too. Because if you can't see through some of these shenanigans and see that a man is finessing you, then you got a problem. It's on you. It's not on him to let you know he about to take advantage of you. You know what I mean? It's not on him to let you know he about to scam you. No, they're getting, some of these men are out here getting exactly what they want. And while y'all are left crying and oblivious to what's really happening. This is why I say women choose the wrong men, and then you cry about the outcomes. You have to vet these men properly. You have to really take your time. Stop rushing and trying to get to the D, because that's what they're trying to do. And then you get to the D, and then he like, okay, damn, I got what I want. Once he gets what he wants out of you, he's on to the next. This is not new information. You would think by now, for all these women who have been crying for years, complaining about these men, they just took advantage and they use you and they abuse and they leave you and they'll lie to you and they switch up. So it seems like y'all know the game, but seems like you know the game, but you don't know the game. Y'all seem like y'all have all been through and been in toxic relationships over and over. You got 3 or 4 baby toxic daddies that you don't like. They're all, y'all know the spiel. One is always in jail, one dead. Rest in peace to them. One was, the rest of them, they narcissists, narcissist abusers. He's just not it. Oh, you know, like him, he ain't in the children's life. Just all deadbeats that you done had children for 5 times over. So what did you learn out of that? Not only did you did not learn the nature of men, you didn't learn yourself. You didn't learn how to avoid those types of men in those situations because you keep finding yourself in them. Which is why we start to point to you that if you know they're the problem, you are also the problem because you keep on dealing with the types of men that have those problems. And I'll never forget when Kevin Samuels did that video, I screamed so loud when he said, he asked that woman what was her last relationship. And she said, and y'all probably know what I'm talking about. She said, the last guy was an abuser and thank God she got out with her life. And then the other guy was this and that. He was like, so he was an alcoholic or something, on drugs or something. And he was like, so why you keep picking alcoholics and abusers? Like, and why you keep picking these guys? And she was like, what? Like, they're not used to that response. They're used to everybody saying, oh my God, thank God you got out with your life. Women saying, oh my God, I'm glad you got out of that situation. But no accountability. Just, oh my God, empathy. Oh my God. And not ever putting the accountability on the fact that you keep choosing these types of guys because you don't know any better, but you're smarter and you're better than men. Right. Sure you are. But even though I as a woman, I have that empathy in me to empathize with women's issues. But the other side of me, I understand that you have to be accountable and just, you got to understand both sides. You got to understand as women, yes, we are, we're emotional. That's a part of us. We all are that way. But you also got to understand the male side of things too. You got to understand that you have to make choices for yourself. You make choices for yourself. And if you choose a certain way, you have to be accountable for your choices. You can't put all of the blame on the narcissists and the abusers because you got to start looking at yourself. If you keep picking them type of guys, why are you picking those types of guys? Where's your father? Did your father teach you about men? Was he a part of your life? What's going on in your life that would allow you to keep picking these types of men? That's where you have to start internally looking within yourself to see, why is it that you are picking? Is it something that you're lacking? What's going on with you? So that you don't keep going after those types of guys. And so that you will recognize if those guys approach you. If they approach you, you should learn certain ways to either avoid those types of men or recognize them when they approach you. Or when you're having a conversation with them, there's certain key things that you recognize in that because you've been through it before and you avoid that type of person. But no, they're not learning that. They just want sympathy, and they just want somebody to feel sorry for them and coddle them and tell them it's going to be okay, girl, because all these niggas ain't this and they ain't that. You already know. How many times y'all going to say that over and over and over? We're going into 2026, and it's the same old story. I have a clip of the Rolanda show back in 92 or 94. And it's the same conversation, y'all. This same conversation is had. Women, we're educated now and we want something more. It's the same conversation. Look out for that video because I'm gonna probably post that video soon. Same conversation. Way back in even past, probably the 80s, probably even the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. It's the same conversation. And they still complaining about not being able to find a good man. So all these years, y'all still not able to find a good man, and you still think it's all the men, all the problem is all on the men, and y'all have no issues whatsoever. We know that's not true, but it's been an issue. These are not new things. This has been happening for years, and they're still not learning. You're not learning anything. So I want to go ahead and play the rest of what this woman is saying. This is her response to that woman complaining and crying about the man taking her advantage of her, is what she's saying, and making her a baby mama after she was a virgin for 30 years. She went and decided to sleep with this man, or I guess they were in a relationship, and then he left her alone. She's saying he wasn't really serious. Maybe his intentions weren't really to be with her, but she took a chance with this guy, gave him her body. He wasn't her husband. Because I'm just saying, if you wait all those years and you haven't been with anybody, you must be waiting on your husband. But no, she decided to give him a chance, even though he wasn't trying to take her seriously. Because to me, and the first thing women will say is, well, you don't know if a marriage is going to work. You don't know none of this. Y'all take chances with men y'all don't know, and y'all get babies to them. So goddamn, if you decide I want commitment first before you give them your body and all that, wouldn't that be maybe a possibly a better outcome than you just sleeping with Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike, Pookie, and Ray Ray, and then getting a baby? Now you crying, and now he done left because he didn't want to. Like, come on, y'all take chances every day, but you don't want to take a chance with waiting and betting a guy who will propose to you and want to be your husband, and then do it that way. Make that make sense. But listen to her response to this, and y'all let me know what y'all think. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Hit the like button. What's going on, Danny? Hit the like button. Hit the like button, you guys. Sandra Faye, what's going on? How are you? Thank you so much for being here. Listen, Sandra, I love her channel. I love your channel. Shout out to you, boo. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to her channel if you haven't already. Go over and subscribe to Sandra Faye's channel. I really like her content, y'all. Maybe we could do some type of collab or something together. I would love that. Go over and subscribe to Sandra's channel, you guys. If you haven't already, go right now and go subscribe to her channel. She has some great content over there. I love what she does. So make sure you guys go and subscribe to her. Please go subscribe to her channel. But shout out to you. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. But let's go ahead and listen to what's going on, Danny? What this lady had to say. Here we go.
When you are in religion, and like she even called herself a good girl, when you are sold a dream, when you get it, typically when you are in especially Abrahamic religions, you are sold this idea of waiting out until marriage, purity. If the less touched that you are, the more desirable you'll be a man's prize pick. You are taught so much. You are conditioned in a very specific way. And that's why I say religion breeds pygmies. It breeds women who have low self-esteem, who have no sense of identity, who really value men. They love to have men lord over them. They have no sense of sovereignty. They have no desire to have validation from within. What they do is typically motivated by men. This woman was deceived. She said she entered into the situation a virgin, left with a baby, left with heartache, and left pretty much with her whole psychology screwed. Because imagine if you're sitting here and your outlook on life is, if I do things the right way, if I adjust myself for God, and if I do what I need to do, then I'm going to get a good man.
Well, first off, she didn't do it the right way. She held out from sexual intercourse, but she didn't get married first. Let's be clear. She didn't hold out until marriage. She met a guy and she gave it to him and he gave her a baby. Just because you are, trying, you're either, whether it's a religious thing or you just trying to do things the right way, don't mean you have to be stupid. And you can't blame stupid on the other person. That's something that you have to attain yourself. So if just because you are holding out for whatever reason, doesn't mean that's not the only thing that you have to be aware of. You still have to be aware of other people. You still have to be aware of games that people play. You don't, just because you're doing things the so quote unquote right way, doesn't mean that you have to be dumb and oblivious to life and people. And so if she was oblivious to life and other people and the shenanigans and the games that men and women play, that is not nobody else's fault. That's your own fault, because you need to be prepared for life and what it can bring. Now, certain things can be out of your control. You can't control everything. You don't know what people are going to do. You don't know what other people's intentions are. Of course, I'm not saying you have to be a mind reader or that you can be a mind reader. What I'm saying is you have to have some type of gauge on life and people and experiences and things of that nature. And a lot of times that comes from being taught that. Either you had your father who schooled you on men and how men are, and your mother who taught you what a wife and what a woman is supposed to be and what to look out for. Like, those are the things that are supposed to be taught to you, so that you don't go out here oblivious, just believing everything that people say and falling into the hands of these people who are looking to take advantage of you. That's not on that person, because you don't understand that. That's something that you have to take accountability for, in my opinion. And it's unfortunate that this happened to her, because in a perfect world, yeah, you want people to do the right thing, men and women. You want everybody, you would assume that people would just do the right thing, but we know that people don't. So you have to take some accountability and prepare yourself for what could possibly happen. You don't have to go through life in a fearful way, but you must be aware of the possibility of what people could do. This is why when you meet a guy or you meet a woman, either way, you vet the person. You don't jump right into the relationship. You vet this person to see who they really are as much as you can. Their core values, what they believe, their beliefs, what they do. Not only do you watch what they say, but you watch what they do. And you keep watching what they do. You could talk to somebody, get to know them, but the longer you watch them, listen to what they say, listen to what they do. You watch the ups and downs of life, when they're mad, when they're happy, how they respond, their family background. All of that has a lot to do with the person in front of you. So if you don't take time to do that and you just think, oh, he's just cute, he's fine, oh my God, he seems to like me, oh my God, we have good chemistry, the vibes are great, you know how they talk. Everything is great. Let's just, I like him. I'm attracted to him. He's attracted to me. And then next thing you know, sex is involved, and boom, now you got a baby. And now he's like, oh, damn, I ain't ready for this. I don't really want her like that. I was just trying to, and then by the time you realize he was just in it for the cooch, and he got it, you happen to get a baby and he like, this too much, and he out. Then this is how you find yourself in this type of situation, as opposed to waiting and saying, hey, if you waited 30 years to not be with somebody sexually, you could wait a couple of more. to see if and say, hey, listen, I require marriage. That way you'll vet out the people who are not into you for the right reasons and for what you are looking for, and you could have avoided this. But for some reason, a lot of women don't do that, and they keep doing the same thing over and over and over. This is how you end up with 2, 3, 4 baby daddies, because you're not vetting these people right, and then you're constantly blaming them for it. You can't do that. See, Irvin, thank you for the super chat. Says addressing a woman as a pick-me is a complete red flag, right? And usually the ones who do that are always, every time any woman that's called another woman a pick-me is usually single. You don't hear married women call another woman pick-me. It's the single ones that always do. That's how you know. I'm like, okay, all right. Thank you, C. Irving. Thank you so much for the support. Let's continue.
He's gonna be a man of God. He's gonna take care of me. I'm gonna have my child with him. I'm a virgin. I've done things the right way. I'm doing things the right way now. And then to have your world flipped upside down, that is going to shift your reality. There's going to be some psychological damage, not only being done in the present, but in the end, because now your view of religion is probably going to change. Your view of God is going to change. Your view of men is going to change. Nobody equips religious women with the truth. You sell them a dream, and then you say, here, practice this. And you already...
How is she referring to this woman? How do we know if she was religious or she just was holding out? Because clearly she gave in at some point. How do we know she was religious? You know, I mean, let's continue.
Teach them to subdue themselves to a God who rewards their purity, and that's just stupid. Women have sovereignty over their body. Their bodies belong to them. So when they already come into this religion saying, my body's not my own, it doesn't belong to me, it makes it easier to enter into these marriages with the idea of, this is his body. He can do what he wants with it. This is what it is. And you're conditioning them to subdue themselves under male leadership. Religion, I have never seen, especially Abrahamic religions, empower women to be sovereign, to be partners. No, they condition women to be servants, as if men are worthy of being served. We are just as smart, if not more. We are just as capable, just as competent, if not more. Why should women be in subjection to men? Absolutely not. And these women have their worlds rocked upside down all the time.
Yeah, but because they're not as smart as men. Y'all keep running around here saying women are more smarter and if not more. No, you're not. You've proven over and over and over, like I said before, that you're dumb as doornails. Y'all are not smart. You're not equal to a man. You're really not. And you keep showing men over and over that you're not. Y'all say one thing, but your actions show something else. If you're so damn smart and you're so better than a man, once again, why these men keep running circles around you? You can't blame it on the church. You want to blame it on the church. You want to blame it on this. Think about your mind. Women want to have their own autonomy and all this time, and you don't want to be subjected by a man, and you want to have the control. And now you have control of it. Nobody's controlling you. Nobody is controlling your body. You are, but y'all have free reign to do whatever it is you want with your bodies. And we see what y'all are doing with them. Twerking upside down on tables, sleeping with Tom, Dick, and Harry, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike, and Mo, and Pookie, and Ray Ray. Y'all are out here subjecting yourselves in a sexual way. The OnlyFans rates are going up, even though the money is drying up because men are tired of seeing it. You know, men are tired of seeing your ass cracks. I'm just saying. They don't want to see it anymore. They've seen enough. It's not pleasing to them. It's an overload of cracks all over social media. So now they don't even have to go to OF to look at it. They could just go to TikTok of all the ladies shaking they big asses, like I'm just saying, big legs, just big all over the place. So they could just go there and look. You don't even have to pay anything anymore because all these women are subjecting themselves in their own way in the name of empowerment. Oh, I can do what I want to do and what y'all choose to do. And this is not every woman, but for the ones that do it, When you have your free reign to do what you want, this is what y'all choose to do. Y'all don't choose to go read books. Why y'all don't do videos about the books that y'all reading to empower your mind and learn something new? What you choose to empower yourself is twerking and over sexualizing yourselves and talking about getting to the D and getting money from men. Y'all not doing anything that's that will better you. So y'all worried about the wrong things. You worried about a man subjecting you and having power over you. You don't need you. You worried about the wrong things. You're single. Majority of y'all are single baby mamas. So ain't nobody got no power over you. And the ones who actually had power over you, you gave them babies. You rewarded them with babies, and then you're still complaining, and you ain't learning nothing from those experiences. And you keep doing it over and over again, steadily blaming somebody, which is ridiculous to me. Every time I just cringe. I'm like, what? Y'all still blaming men for y'all own horrible mistakes, and you're not learning a damn thing. Nobody is subjecting you to anything. It's on autopilot. Y'all are doing it to yourselves. And no man is controlling you. Most of y'all are single, so y'all are controlling your households. Y'all are controlling yourselves. Y'all are doing what y'all want to do, and what y'all want to do is twerk. You want to shake your ass. You want to, wear skimpy outfits. You want to look like 304s. You want to walk down the street just twerking, walking. Just twerking, walking. That's all y'all want to do. There's nothing else that I see that you're doing that's empowering and making a difference in society. You're not teaching anybody anything of any substance. You're not doing anything to teach your daughters. They're following in your footsteps. You're teaching them how to wear 613 bust down wigs. You're teaching them how to wear outfits and go after money and how to get, you're teaching them the things that is going to ruin them. Y'all are not doing anything productive in society that would make you seem to be smarter than men or equal to all this. Oh, you're equal to a man, and men want us to. No man ain't subjecting y'all to nothing. These men have moved on. These men are going to work, taking care of themselves, and not even caring about y'all. They're not even paying attention to y'all with all of this. Y'all constantly looking for attention with the twerking, and the men are looking elsewhere because they know what that's about. So this idea of a man controlling you is ridiculous. These men are not trying to control y'all. Y'all controlling yourselves, and y'all running yourselves in the ground, and you're mad at that too. Because you don't know what you're doing. You still trying to reach in the dirt and still try to blame a man for doing something and controlling you when you ain't got a man. How he controlling you? Ain't nobody telling you what to do. It's absurd. It's like it's on autopilot now. Nobody ain't doing nothing. You just want to use these talking points to make it seem like men are trying to be it. These men ain't trying to control y'all. They don't want to tell y'all got it. You got it now. And you're running out of ways to blame men because men aren't even trying to check for y'all. So you're doing your own thing, and you still trying to look over and say, oh, my man made me do it. No, he didn't. It's a delusional mentality. Classy Perspective, thank you for the super chat. Says smarter than men, but complain about giving Southside JoJo the freshest squeeze. Exactly. Yeah, thank you, Classy Perspective. I appreciate you. It's asinine. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense anymore. As long as you have men, you can use men to blame. It's okay. But now you're running out of that because men are not controlling y'all. Y'all do what y'all want to do. You're not subjected to a man's control. Men don't even go to church like they used to. The churches are filled with women. So even all the women are there. Y'all are free as ever. You are free to choose what you want to do, how you want to do it, when you want to do it. Nobody is controlling you. But they still using it as a way to blame men. It just don't make any sense. No, you are creating the scenarios of your lives. You're creating the life that you're living. And it's nobody else's fault how it turns out, but yours, because that's your choice. You're free to choose. As modern women, you're free to choose how you want to live, what you want to do with your life, where you want to go, what you want to do. That's you are free to choose that. So you can't blame anybody else for the outcomes, for the poor outcomes. It's all on you. And so that's the part I think that they're realizing there's no men around to tell you what to do. Y'all don't listen to no man anyway. That's why y'all are in the predicaments that you're in now, because you don't listen to maybe if you listen to a man, you might be in a better situation. You don't want to listen to them. You don't want them controlling you. You don't want to be under a man. You don't want to be submit. You don't have to be. And you haven't been. And it shows. So I just think it's crazy. I just think it's crazy. It's crazy, y'all. It's crazy. But let's move on. I want to move on to another clip that I saw that I thought was interesting as well. I have a few clips I want to share with y'all. But here's the next one that I want to play for you guys. Make sure you are hitting the like button, y'all. Please hit the like button. Hit the like button. Oh my goodness. Here's the next clip. Here we go.
Y'all know what?
She whispering too.
Y'all know what really, really, really breaks my heart? Like, and what's been breaking my heart? I'm not gonna lie, like, seeing so many of, like, my old female acquaintances, seeing so many of my old female friends. And it's like, every time I run across one of these social medias, see them in person, it's like, damn, you just had a baby, you a single mama, you struggling. Like, I don't like how we be carrying these niggas' babies, risking our lives like it's nothing. Just for these niggas to be able to walk away, stress us out, pick and choose whenever they want to come and help and stuff. And God, I hate that for us. I hate that for us. I hate that for us. I do, because it's like, what happened? And it's so funny because oftentimes, like, the ones who picked wrong partners sad that they're, like, I was just on, like, this girl used to go to school with me, elementary through high school, we graduated and all that. And, you know, like, she'd be talking about, like, how she be struggling, how she's a single mom, how she's this, how she's that. And I'm just like, damn. And I know her, you know what I'm saying? Like, she had a rough upbringing, a very, very rough upbringing. And it's like, that kind of makes me think about myself, too. Like, I've had a very traumatic upbringing, you feel what I'm saying? And it's like, that forces you to look for love and shit like that in the wrong place. Like, like, you literally find peace in all that chaos. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like, that's why, like, I feel like us females stick around long enough to the point where we do end up getting pregnant. We do end up this and we do end up that. Because niggas be like, oh, y'all know how he was before y'all had the baby. And it's like, nah, like, niggas be playing up, like, it be a facade. But, like, man, we gotta do better, man. And I'm only saying that because, like, I'm pregnant again for myself.
She said she's pregnant again. I could tell. I could see, like, right here, I could see a stomach. So she's pregnant again. So she must already have a child or more. You know, once again, it just goes back to women not wanting to listen. You want to be able to be free to do what you want. You don't want nobody telling you nothing. You want to, you know, have your own autonomy and do what you want to do. But this is what y'all are choosing to do. You know, there are a lot of women who have come up in kind of rough situations, but they don't all end up in this situation. You know, you have to, you should want to do better first, and you should pay attention. Like, everybody want to twerk and have fun. That's what it is, honestly. Everybody want to go out and just have fun. Nobody wants to be responsible. You don't want to be responsible at a young age. You want to go out and have fun and just do you. But then when doing you and having fun ends up with you with several baby daddies, you know, and failed relationships, and now you're a single mother. Now everybody want to complain and, oh, what are we doing? What are we doing? When you've had people, a lot of these young women have had family members in their lives telling them, Hey, don't go out there and get no baby now. You better do this and do that. And now I don't want to hear that. You just want to go out and have fun and be fast. And then you end up in this situation. Now everybody want to cry wolf and, want to talk solemn and low once you've been knocked up and a dude and ran off. Like, come on, but a lot of these women have been warned. You've been warned about this, but you don't want to listen. That's the thing. A lot of these women are hard-headed. You know what's out there. We've seen many examples of it. Growing up, I've seen, a lot of my classmates and schoolmates were pregnant as teenagers. So I see it happening all around. So if I know I don't want that, I know, just do the opposite of what they're doing. If you don't want to end up a teen mother or a single mother, like, just, what to do. You just don't want to do it. And society, in my opinion, coddles that behavior and make them feel okay about it. And this is why they keep doing it. But you know that that's not the right way to go. They know it's not the right way to go, but you keep listening to the OK Corral telling you, girl, you could raise your baby by yourself. You're not thinking about the future of your child, what the child is going to need, how this is going to look for the child that you're raising. Now these kids grow up and they're like, they're 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old, start asking, where's my daddy? Why I don't have a daddy? Like, that's embarrassing. That would be embarrassing to me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think people think about the future. You don't think about how this is going to look when your kids grow up, how they're going to fare, how difficult this might be. And I think people should start thinking about the future and how this might turn out. Marlon Wayne's voice, spoken like a real man. Did you see that interview? Marlon definitely held back from the disrespect. I don't know if I saw the whole thing, C. Irvin, but I think I know what you're talking about. Thank you for the super chat, C. Irvin. Once again, thank you so much for supporting the channel, bro. Let's continue.
Like a baby. And it's like, I catch myself looking at my BD from time to time and like, damn, like I know I want a little more. Like, I know, man. And it's like not even wanting more, but just, you know what I'm saying? Like, just wanting more to life. Like, I don't know, like, y'all, we really gotta start doing better. We have to start doing better. We have to start making choices in men. The right choices in men. It can't be no more of that. He probably done been through a lot. Like, no more of that. No more of trying to see the green flags through the red flags. Like, y'all, we have to tighten up. Because there's too many of us becoming single mamas, having all these babies. Like, it's not like we're single mothers of one child.
That's true.
No, we get, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, niggas be sitting up here getting pregnant back to back by the same nigga. Just to still end up being a single bitch. What you still giving coochie for? I don't know, chat. I don't know. I guess early morning rants, but I just don't know. I don't know.
You know what?
But we have to.
And at least she acknowledging that she doesn't know, because a lot of them would, I'm educated, I know everything. You know what I'm saying? At least she's acknowledging that she doesn't
really
know.
Is that for you men to?
She just does not know. She doesn't know what she's doing. She's a 2-time baby mama, I guess 2-time. She's pregnant and they're asking the questions while pregnant, trying to figure it out. But I'm like, and this is why I say a lot of women who experience this and they're going through it need to share this with other young women. I think women should, if you can't do any better yourself, but you're not doing the right things and it's not benefiting you, y'all need to put that information out there for the younger generation of young women. Tell them this is not the way to go. Start using your voice to educate the younger women coming behind you, to tell them that this is not the glamorous life and this is not the life that you want. Just because you made mistakes in the past doesn't mean that you're useless. It means that if you made those decisions and you have certain outcomes, use that information to teach others tell them how not to do something. You know, if you know you made a bunch of mistakes and you got 4 baby daddies, tell the young women behind you that, nah, don't do that. Don't go around here sleeping around. Use your voice to help somebody else. Don't constantly encourage it or be quiet and just, let the chips fall where they may. Use your voice to tell the young women that is not the route they should be taking. Because maybe they'll listen to you if you've had that experience and maybe they'll see your outcomes and maybe that'll deter them from making those same mistakes. But no, we have so many older women, younger women, all just co-signing this. You have older women in their 40s and older telling women, oh, go sleep with every man you can. Go do it. Do it. I'm like, y'all, look, this is horrible. You're using your voice to hurt these young women, to put them in the same predicament that you're in. 50-year-old women out here still got YNs that they sleeping with on the side because they don't have a man that want them for real. And you're telling other younger women to do the same thing, and knowing that is reckless. That's insanity to me. I just think maybe she right. They need to do better. Irvin Hunt, thank you for the super chat. Says, saddest thing I saw on the podcast the other day was a young girl saying, why won't men pull out instead of inside them? I was shocked. No one taught this girl to make them wear a cover in the heat of the moment. Who raising them? Nobody's raising them. That's the thing. And if anything, you got to take it back to the parents. Thank you, Irvin Hunt. I appreciate the generous super chat. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, I mean, nobody's teaching them, and then they wonder why they got all these diseases going around and people catching all this stuff because they're just out here just doing it all willy-nilly, taking the Plan B pill, stocking up on those. Some of them just, so they won't get pregnant, but there's still all kind of diseases floating around. And they're just out here just busting it open, just straight like that. It's like the OK Corral. Nobody is directing or guiding anybody. Y'all worried about a man telling you what to do? A lot of y'all mamas ain't told y'all what to do and they didn't teach y'all right. And you worried about a man having some control over you. You have no control over yourselves. Y'all are out here doing whatever you want, however you want, and then complaining about it. But you still wondering why men want to control. Yeah, because y'all are out of order. You're out here just winging it, doing whatever in the name of empowerment. We're empowered to be hoes. I would never understand it as long as I live, Lord. I would never understand it. Why do women feel empowered to be hoes? That's what y'all fought for. Y'all fought to be individuals to go out and be hoes. Because when men were, in the households and they had some type of what they would call control in a negative way, you couldn't go be hoes. You had to be with just that one man. And if you was lucky enough to be in the house cooking and cleaning and being there with the kids, you with that one man, you're cooking and cleaning for him and make sure the kids are good and keep taking care of your house and being there for him and loving him and y'all doing things together. But that one man wasn't enough because everybody was just itching and scratching to be hoes. That's what y'all fought for. You fought to be able to go out and have sex with whoever you want to in the name of empowerment and not be shamed for it. Not understanding what that would accompany, what that will come with, the consequences of that. That you're going to end up being a spinster at 40 years old, that no man is going to take you seriously. You've given babies to men because going out here being a hoe means, you've racked up a body count. So now you've got this body count and some babies along the way with men who never wanted to be with you, men who took advantage of you, as they would say. But did they really take advantage of you, or you got what you wanted? You got what you wanted because you didn't want to be one man. You didn't want to be one man. That wasn't enough. According to these women, a whole phase is a prerequisite, I guess, for being a woman, being an adult. You're supposed to go in your 20s. You're supposed to rack up body counts, girl. You need to know how many different sizes is out there. You need to try them all. This is what you got to do as a 20-something-year-old. And then when you get in your 30s, late 30s, 40s, when you've gotten your education, now you want to settle down with a man who's going to treat you like a queen, pay all the bills, take care of you and your kids from that whole phase. and he's supposed to adore you, run behind you, treat you, and just do whatever you want him to do, whatever him allow you to do whatever you want to do, and just be your husband and be there for the ride to take care of you and your kids. This is the mentality. Like y'all, and they think that this, and it's not working. Trust me, it's not working because men are not falling for it. These are not the men of the old days where where the men became stepdads, looking at the woman in the best light, even though he knew she was for the streets. But he was like, okay, I'll take a chance. Well, no, they're not trying to take a chance with you now. Men don't want to do that because it's too expensive these days. First off, the economy is too much. They don't want to spend all their money trying to date you and court you and take you out, just to know that you got 10 other men or 20 other men in your phone that you're going out with and getting stuff from too. These men don't want to be a part of that. So it's a little bit more difficult for these women to finesse men nowadays because men are just not falling for it. So, it's becoming a little bit more difficult. They're struggling to pay their bills and stay afloat because you got to do it all by yourself. But isn't that what y'all fought for? Isn't that what y'all wanted, to be able to do it all by yourself? You wanted to be just like a man? You don't want to be subjected to a man. You don't want to have to listen to a man. You don't want the control of a man because you don't want to be a part of the patriarchy. So you're living as if you're living in a matriarchy because you run your household. You decide when, who, where, what you're going to do, right? So you have that. Y'all have that capability. Y'all are able to do that. Nobody's stopping you. But y'all are still complaining, still wondering what the men should be doing. You don't need a man. So why are you worried about what men are doing and what they should or shouldn't be doing? You don't need them. Y'all said y'all didn't need them. But you're still sleeping with them. So you need them for something. You're still sleeping with them. You're still complaining about why they won't commit. Y'all don't want no man. So the men are just sleeping with you because you letting them. If they're not taking advantage of you or taking it from you, you're letting them do it. So you're open to it. So you still sleeping with them, letting them raw dogging it too, getting pregnant and all, and then all of a sudden you think he gonna just turn around and commit to you? Hell no. That's how clueless y'all are, but y'all the most educated. Y'all don't really realize these men just want to sleep with you. They don't want you. You already got 3 baby daddies. Why would he want you? He's just trying to bust a nut. That's it. That's it. And once he does that, he's on his way. He ain't trying to come take care of you and your 3 kids. He just was trying to bust a, you know what? He was trying to get that off. He had to get that, and then he moved on. Why y'all understand that? I don't understand. Y'all the most educated once again, and you don't understand that. That's why these men ghost y'all. Once they done, they've stated. What y'all call it? Post-nut clarity? I mean, men have said it. What part of y'all? What are y'all not listening to? The men are telling y'all exactly what's going on, and y'all are still up. Why men do this? Why the men ghost us? Yeah, they telling y'all. They've told y'all. Y'all don't listen. That's the problem. The men are telling you exactly. If you just listen, you would have the answers to your questions. Because y'all keep asking the same damn questions over and over and over. And the men have already told y'all. They've already told y'all what they're looking for in a woman, what they want in a wife. You know what I mean? What type of woman they would marry. They told y'all. They told y'all why they ghost y'all, because they're disgusted by you after, that post, that they're disgusted. They're turned off with you after that. They've said it. Whether you like what they're doing or not is irrelevant. This is what the point that a lot of women would argue about. Why would they do that? Who cares why? You can't control them. They're telling you why. Now you trying to argue about why they like that. It doesn't matter. That's just how they think. And if they're telling you why they're doing a certain thing or how they feel or what they're thinking, they're telling you, they've told you. If you've watched enough podcasts and videos on YouTube, listen to what men have told y'all everything y'all need to know. And if you're out here still asking these same questions of why men do this, why, that means you're not listening, boo. And that's why you keep being subjected to the same old type of, outcomes because you're not listening. Y'all not hearing. You trying to make it into what you think it should be instead of looking at it for what it actually is. The men are telling y'all, but y'all think men are like y'all. Y'all think men will say something, or women do this. Oh, they say one thing and you mean something else. Oh, I want you to do this, but can you put a little spin on it? No, they telling you exactly how they think, what they believe in, or whatever it is. Y'all just don't want to accept it. And that's y'all problem. So y'all still over there your minds are boggling about how men think and why they think. You ain't gonna figure out why they think. That's how they think. The same way about body count. They trying to reinvent the wheel as to why men even care about body count. They've been cared about it. And it hasn't changed in all these years. So why are you trying to change the way men are? That's just the way that they are. Either you can accept it or reject, but you can't change their minds. That's the thing. So they're over there scrapping with the idea that men think like this. Men don't want women high body because you don't rack your body count up in the name of empowerment. You bought into that whole trick that's going to stifle y'all and put y'all in a bad situation. And now you're you're living the consequences of your choices. And now you're like, well, why men don't want? Now you're trying to force men into accepting something they never was into accepting. But because you were taught, oh, as a woman, I can have my own autonomy and I can do what I want and I don't give a damn what nobody thinks. But then you do care what men think when now you're 40 years old and you got 3 baby daddies and now your body count is over 100 and you sitting here wanting a husband, and now every man that you meet know that you got 3 kids for 3 different dudes, and he like, nah, I can't do that. I want my own kids. And they don't be mean about it, just telling you, oh, nah, I don't think I could be with one. I want my own kids, so I don't know, this ain't gonna work out. Then you mad. Then you making big. Well, every man I meet, he worried about how many kids I have. He be cool, but until I tell him how many kids I got, I don't hear from him anymore. It's like he just ghosted me, and I really liked him. Well, this is the stuff that we try to tell y'all. Hey, don't glorify this whole culture. Don't go out here racking up your body count. You just because you're young don't mean that you should be out here spreading your legs for Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike, Pookie, and Ray Ray, and John and Doe. You should be preserving your body, and you should be focused on finding your person. Focus on finding a man who you're gonna marry, and you be with him. And once you get married, you can bust it open all day because that's your husband. You can give all of that and y'all experiment and learn together. But for some reason, and I say this over and over and over, and my mind is always boggling. Why is it so difficult to fathom the idea that you can't learn and grow and experiment with your husband as a young couple? I'm just saying that it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to experiment and go through all of that and learn with each other and try new things. It's a beautiful thing, but somehow they bought into this idea that, oh, you're not supposed to be that. You don't even know what you like. You can't learn what you like with that one person. I'm just saying, I know that's uncommon, people, because society tells you, oh, you need to experiment. Oh my God, no, you can't be. What if you don't like that? Try something else with that person, though. If one thing don't work out, try something else. Why do y'all think that you have to go with Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike, Pookie, Ray, Tony, Joe, all these people till you find out what you like? Now you done given your body to all these men. You know what you like now, but now ain't nobody gonna like you because you've given it to all these people. So there's nothing special about you. You've given your body and babies to men that didn't even want you, and they didn't have to do much to get you. So men look at that as, oh, you've been passed around. I don't know. I don't think I want to be with that woman because of that. But then you have the highest expectations for a man after all of that, because in your mind, most women don't care about a man's body count for the most part. That's not something that most women care about. So they think men shouldn't care about it. And, women don't think, the way men think. They don't think about, damn, I didn't give my vagina. Even, and then on top of that too, think about it. Women will say, hey, I was with this guy, right? And I was with this one. I really didn't like him. Or, I was just trying to get to the D. I was horny. Women want sex more than men. So you're just doing that. But think Think about telling that to a man. Think about telling a man that you was with all these guys that you didn't really like, right? But you gave him your body. See, men look at your body as something more sacred than you even do. You don't even see, as most women don't even see the issue. That's why they're like, what's the issue? Because men look at your body as something that's valuable and worthy, that you let a man do all of this to you and he didn't have to, you didn't really like him. He didn't have to do much to get you. And you're doing it in the name of, hey, I just want to be pleased. He's looking at, damn, this man mounted you. He was on you. He was in you. Men look at it much more deeper. And I think women should start looking at it much deeper. You would think that as a woman, because it's your body, you say your body, your choice, but y'all use that as a way to exploit yourselves. You don't look at it in a way of looking at, yeah, this is my body. It's a temple. I should carry it as such. Most women don't look at this themselves that way, but men do. Men look at a woman's body and all of that in a more sacred way than even women do. And that's something that women grapple with. They don't understand that. This is why they don't understand men. They're like, well, what's the big deal? You should look at it as a big deal, as the woman and your body, that your body is a temple and you should preserve it and not just give it to anybody. So when you give it to all these different men and you're like, well, women, we don't really care about feelings. We don't really get into it like that. We just could do that and it ain't mean nothing to us. Men look at that like, well, damn, you just give your body to a man and it doesn't mean anything to you. He wasn't special to you. You didn't really like him. You just was trying to, bust a big one, I guess, like a man. And that was that. And you just go for man and you don't care. Men look at that in a serious way. While women look at it as, oh, it's not a big deal. So that really has to change. It really does, because that's how a lot of women are in these predicaments. And then when they realize they can't get a man to take them seriously, like, oh, well, I just erased my whole phase. I just could get rid of it. No, you can't. You wish you could, though. And this is the very reason why women are confusing. On one hand, you're empowered to do it. On the other hand, you lie about your body count. If you're so empowered to be hoes, why do women lie about the body count? Why do you lie to a man about your body count? To the point where men even know, hey, if she told you it was 5, multiply that times 3. Because she knows it doesn't look good. It says something about you and your choices. And most men don't want that type of woman to take seriously. That is not a new concept. And so what I try to tell women is, hey, listen, you need to think a little bit harder. I know it's going to hurt you a little bit, but think a little bit harder. Use your brain. And stop thinking that it's empowerment to go out and be hoes. It's really not. And if you want to be a hoe and you understand, ain't nobody going to really take you seriously after that. And you just want to keep doing it. Because I've seen a 60-year-old hoe. And she's getting to the point where she got to stop, because now she's losing customers to the younger women. She's still on the street. She looks horrible. And I forget her name, but she's out there. And she's like, oh, the streets are drying up. Yeah. Because now they're not, there's other options even out there. They don't want to go to the old 60-year-old, 70-year-old. At some point, baby, you got to hang it up. You got to go resign. At some point, they don't want that dried up cooch. There's other options even out there. So at some point, you got to realize that you can't do that forever. But if that's your choice in life and that's what you want, I can't argue with you. I can't make you choose differently. But don't complain about the outcomes. There are consequences for the things that you choose in life, no matter what it is. And that's the point that I'm trying to get across, because I think if people would focus on, if I do this, what's going to be the outcome of that? If you know that you want a future with a man, but you out here trying to think, but you also think that hoeing is, it's my right and my freedom to do what I want. Think about the consequences. If you know that most men, most men wouldn't take you seriously with that type of background, and you really want a future with a man, then that should stop you from making that choice. Then you should make the choice that would get you what you want. So I think the focus shouldn't be on, oh, this is empowerment. This is a move that I, because I want to do it, I'm going to do it. And I don't care what, and no man can control me. Think about the outcomes of that. And maybe that'll deter you from making that choice. I'm just saying. Classic Perspective, thank you for the super chat. Says, I had one female in my life that asked me to have intercourse with her without a condom. I put my pants on and left with blue scrotums. Oh my God. Right. Because I mean, what's going on? Like, you can't trust it. You can't trust it, baby. Thank you, Classy. I appreciate you. Marriage, Politics, and Sports, thank you for the super chat. Says, does not know what? She did not know about contraception. We have to stop calling these things mistakes. Exactly. And they know better. They just don't want to do it. And then still cry about the outcomes because they think that they can do anything. And they still expect the most. I can be a 304. I can have as many men as I want. And when I'm ready, I'm going to choose a husband. He's going to be standing right there waiting for me. He's going to take me on. He's not going to care about my past. He's going to accept me as I am and my 3 kids. He's going to take care of them. He's going to spend money on us. He's going to pay all the bills. And they're not even cooperative in that. Even if you made mistakes, right? Thank you, Marriage, Politics, and Sports. I appreciate you. If you made mistakes, right? If you're calling them mistakes and you really didn't know when you made mistakes, you realize that this is not a positive thing, you would think that they would be more cooperative in their approach, that if a man would be willing to date them, that they would be cooperative and understand that, hey, this man, you may not find too many men who will want to accept you and your kids, but if you found one, you would be hella grateful and hella cooperative and be like, oh my God, appreciative of this man, because this man didn't have to pick you, but something about you he liked and he said, okay, I'll do it. You would think you would come to that table like gracious and be like, oh my God. But they get an attitude by even the idea of being gracious to a man. They still come off as these, superior to these men, even in their situations. They still think that they're better than a man and they should have the world and more. With 3 baby daddies, been ran through all of that, they 40 years old, you still have a entitlement because you are a woman, and think that a man should still bring all of these, pay all your bills, take all your kids, do all these things for you. And you should still be looked at as a prize with all of the baggage that you have. They still believe that they have some superiority over a man, even in the midst of all of that. And this is why when you say, why would you think a man would come in and do all this when you already got kids? You don't want no more kids. He may not even get a kid. He don't have, they can't understand it. It's very interesting. It's very interesting to hear and see. See, Irving, thank you once again for the super chat. Says, well, DeeDee, you know what they say about a hard head makes a soft right. This prideful behavior will always come before the fall. Then it's woe is me. You're absolutely right. See, Irving, thank you for the super chat once again. Yeah, it's just it doesn't make sense, but we see the reality of it. We see it all playing out. We see how this is going, and a lot of women see it as well, but they don't like it. Jamil 843, thank you for the super chat. Says Julia disrespected Marlon like that because she know he be dealing with men. That's the real reason. Real men triggered her coming from him. Thank you for the super chat. Jamil, I appreciate you. I guess what you're talking about, something that happened. Please, if y'all have the link to the interview, send it to me, because I don't really know what's going on. But thank you for the super chat, Jamil. I appreciate you. Classic Perspective, thank you for the generous super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. says, agreed, C. Irvin. I had to check myself because I wanted to have sex without a condom with that woman because my evil consciousness was telling me to pretend that I'm a gas station and she was a car. I wanted to feel. Wait. This, you know what? You should write this. This sounds like this should be in a romance novel. This sounds like let me read it like I'm reading a romance novel. Agreed, C. Irving. I had to check myself because I wanted to have sex without a condom with that woman. Because my evil consciousness was telling me to pretend that I'm a gas station and she was a car, and I wanted to fill her up. Y'all are nuts. Thank you, Class Perspective. Thank you for the super chat. Y'all are nuts, yeah. Y'all ain't right in the head. For real. But I'm here for it. Yes, Lord. That sounds like that would be one of them romance novels for real. Jamil says Black women have severe self-esteem issues. Oh, hell yeah. They surely do all the time. There's somebody who posts in every one of my videos. Thank you, Jamil. I appreciate you once again. There's somebody who posts in just about all my videos that wearing fake hair is the biggest insecurity of them all. And you know what? I would say I agree. I do. For the most part, I agree. See, I'm not in denial of stuff like that. I agree that it is an insecurity. You know, and a lot of things that women do are insecurities, you know, and self-esteem issues. A lot of the things that they do, it stems from that. And I will say, I don't think women, you know, look, self-esteem issues and insecurities, women and men have them as well. Come on now, let's just be real. But I think women are the ones who are in denial about it and try to say, you know, make it seem as if they're perfect and they don't have the issues when we all know that they do. I think that's the difference. Yeah, I do. I believe that we all have some type of self-esteem issues or some type of insecurities. I do. You know, the same way women wear wigs and weaves and makeup. Yeah, it's an insecurity because there are blemishes in your face or there's certain things you don't like about aging. And so you wear makeup. There are things that you want to cover up. You know, it is what it is. We all have them. It's just that it's easier for women to cover it up and you know, but why is my thing is this? Because look, I wear makeup. I said I have darkness underneath my eyes. It's a hereditary thing. I'm insecure about them. I like to cover it up. Come on. Now, will I wear my face without any makeup? Yes, I do it just about every day. I don't wear makeup the majority of the time. But is it an insecurity? Yes, because I don't like them. I'm not afraid to show it, but it could be an insecurity. You know, do I want to wear my natural hair out all the time? No, not all the time. But most of the time I do, just not on social media, which I have. I've worn my hair out on social media several times. Just go back to my old videos. My hair just back in a ponytail, which I recently cut my hair though, as well. But yeah, I've worn my natural hair out. I've worn my natural face out. I wear my natural hair and natural face every single day. Just for this though, I kind of like, you know, add something to it or add a little bit to it, but I do it all the time. When I go to grocery store or whatever, I'm usually no makeup in my natural hair. So, but because I'm that way, every woman is not like that. There are women who you will never see their natural hair. You'll never see their bare skin. They are that insecure with themselves to where they gotta wear this 24/7. They need it. It's a part of them. They never take it off. They never, you know, and so to sit here and act as if it's not an insecurity or it doesn't play into your self-esteem would be a lie. But see, I'm willing to accept it and acknowledge it, but a lot of women aren't. And I think, you know, it is what it is because we all have them. Men and women have it. I don't think it's just women. I think men too. Some men who are balding, they don't like the bald. You have men wearing the hair units now. You have men sculpting in abs. You have men who are now getting surgeries to enhance certain things to look a lot better and all of that. I don't see anything wrong with it. But to be in denial about what it is the problem. You can't start taking these grandstands against others when you know that you're insecure about certain things about yourself. And I think that's what women tend to do. They act as if they're elitist and better when you know you refuse to take that wig off. This is why they glue them down on their heads, because you don't want to take it off. That wig has become your hair. That is not a wig anymore. That is your hair. You've trained yourself to believe that that is your hair. It's glued on. It ain't coming off. It ain't going nowhere. It's yours. So this is why they start acting like, oh my God, I want a man. He can't be bald. He can't have this. He can't have that. He can't be this. He can't be that. But you have a lot of those same things. You're just able to cover yours up better. That's all. So I think there's a fine line between there's just a line between being accountable and accepting certain things about yourself, but at the same time criticizing others for the exact same thing. You know what I'm saying? I hope I'm making sense, because it just doesn't make sense. So yeah, it's a lot of self-esteem issues that women have. I think a lot of us have them, but I think women are more in denial about it, because they really believe that when they put that makeup on, when they put the hair on, that is their new skin, that's their hair, and nobody can tell them anything differently. You know what I mean? So yeah, it just becomes a real issue. And yeah, I just think something's got to give. Jamil says, was waiting on the new edition reference. LOL. I don't know why. That's just sticking. You know, I love new edition, so it's stuck in my head though. Thank you, Jamil. I appreciate you. Mauricio 91 says they ask disingenuous questions. They don't actually wonder anything about men. Their questions are their way of complaining and stomping their feet. Thank you, Mauricio 91 for the super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you once again. Yeah, it's an issue, but hopefully they can learn at some point. Marriage, Politics, and Sports says, unfortunately, they know that casual sex takes its toll on them. They simply don't care anymore. Exactly. Thank you once again, Marriage, Politics, and Sports, for the super chat. I appreciate the support. Yeah, they don't care until they do. You know, once again, women go back and forth. It's this is why a lot of men and some women don't believe that women can be good leaders. Women are not good at leadership roles, because they're not solid in their choices. You change your mind too often. You want one thing at one point, and then you want something else at another. So you're not solid in what you believe in your choices, because they change based off of your feelings and your emotions. And you can't have people leading things who change based on their feelings and emotions. That would be a catastrophe. So yeah, so I just think that that's a problem with women. And I think once again, women are just in denial. You don't want to accept the truth of what things are. You want it to go the way you want it to go. And when it doesn't, you act like a little kid. You throw tantrums, stomp your feet. You get mad because things aren't going the way you want. But you remember, things that you want changes. 1 minute you want this, then you want this. And that's a roller coaster ride. And most people don't want to go on these roller coaster rides with y'all, because it's detrimental to their mentality. Like men want peace. They don't want to have to deal with a woman who doesn't have any loyalty. 1 minute you do, next minute you don't. When your feelings change, that could be overnight. Oh, I want this and I want that. No, you need to know that you have somebody who's solid in their choices, and they know that they want you, and they're there for the long haul. You hear women say, oh, wake up one day, could be married in a 20-year marriage, and wake up and decide, oh, this doesn't serve me anymore, I'm out. You don't care about the kids. You don't care about the man. You don't care how this is going to affect your overall life. And so you don't care, because it's your feelings and you got to go with it. That's very dangerous, but this is what we see. This is how women move. And I just think that it's a big problem. It really is. Jamil says, you are honest, DeeDee. 95% of women are not. And it's true. And that's why I think it's a problem. I think honesty will take you a lot further. And I think men will respect your honesty too, because at least you're trying, you're not hiding. You know what I mean? Because as long as you're hiding and you're in denial, then that means there's no room for growth. When you can be honest about who you are and your intentions and the things that you do, at least when you do that, I think anybody will take the approach of, hey, at least you're honest. That means there's room for growth. That means you're a listening vessel. You're open to making changes and sacrifices. But if you're just dishonest and you're hiding things, that means you're not ready to change and you're not ready to grow. And nobody can deal with that, because that means you're stuck in your ways, you're stuck in who you are and what you believe, and nobody can get through to you. So as long as that happens, most men don't want to deal with women like that, because they know that it's going to be a push and a push to try to, get through to this woman. She's stuck in her ways, and that's just that. And most people don't want to deal with that, especially now. Thank you, Jamil. I appreciate you. So yeah, that is that. Yeah, it's just unfortunate though. And I hope classes say men are getting BBLs. They are. Men are doing things to enhance their look too. I saw the man get the hair unit. The man looked old. He got that hair unit. That man looks like 15 years younger. It looked great. It looked good. So I'm like, hell, why not? I guess they're saying, why not? If women are going around here getting enhancements and wearing wigs, why can't we do something to enhance our looks? Because most men don't do it now. The men who are getting these enhancements, it's a small percentage. It's not like women with the BBLs and all this stuff that women, but then the women are criticizing the men for doing. I couldn't date a man that got a hair unit. I said the audacity that you won't wear a man who's wearing a hair unit when you wear hair hats every single day, 24 hours a day. But you won't wear a man who wearing a hair unit? Oh, I can't do it. But you accept men. But when men say they don't want women who wear wigs and weaves, y'all get pissed off. I said, this is the nerve and the gall to sit and say, I wouldn't date a man with a hair unit. I said, nah, I know you lie. But that's the nature of a lot of women. That's just the nature. Let's move on. I want to go to this story here because I thought this was very interesting. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Please hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, y'all. Let's move on. Here we go.
To this singles event last night in Houston called Crush Club. And hopefully this doesn't get in the wrong eyeballs, but black men that talk to white women and kind of like push you away when you're trying to talk to them, it's kind of crazy. Like, I was talking to this gentleman last night at the event, and I just stumbled upon him. He was at the bar and I was going towards the bar, and I started talking to him, and he was a nice statuesque black guy. Like, they have all these stickers that had color codes. So basically, like, green was like 21 to 24, purple was 25 to 27 or something, and then or 29, and then orange was like 30 to 34, and then red, which was what I was wearing, is 35 and up. No cap. So he had a red sticker on, and I was like, okay, so he's in my age range or whatever. So I started talking to him, and he's with this Latino guy, and they're just, chatting it up or whatever. And I was like, okay, finally I'm finding the people with the red tags on. How are you guys doing? Just, mingling. I have no problem talking to anybody. So he says, I'm doing good. And he's like really chipper and really like, over the top, kind of just like, not flamboyant, but like boisterous and, full of energy. Super chill, seemed like, or whatever. But he kept looking over me. He's taller than me, and he kept looking over me. And he was like doing these eyes at his Latino friend. I was like, okay, well, how long have you guys been here? And he ends up saying like, oh no, we just got here maybe like 30 minutes ago. And I was like, okay, I've been here for about an hour. Have you already stopped by the bar? Or this is, he was like, no, I'm not actually going to the bar. I just like staying by the bar line because people are moving and it's more accessible. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. Like, cool. All right, well, anyways, like, what's your name? And I see it on his name tag, but I always like to say, what's your name? I don't remember his name. Let's not even go there because irrelevant. But he keeps looking at this Latino guy like over and beyond me. And I was like, well, you know what? I'm not gonna hold you guys up. It was nice to meet you. I just like to mingle and say hello to everybody. 2 seconds later, this motherfucker is with this white girl. And I'm like, oh, my bad. I wasn't your type, my nigga. Sorry for interrupting your swag for the white girls. No offense, but like, it's
Baby, she mad. She mad. You mad that he looked right through you. You was never his choice. You was never his preference. But why be mad? That's what I'm saying. Oh, now it's my nigga and all of this now because he not into you. And she trying to minimize the blow. You know what I mean? He never saw you as an option. He did not he saw right through you. He saw somebody else that he was interested in. You was invisible. And that's how a lot of women are. They're invisible. A lot of these men when they see, if a man is interested in you, if you walk in the room, right, and you are a fit, what some men would call fine, face card is beautiful, you look good, you are what they like. Usually it's fit women, small waistlines, either tall, statuesque, or short, looking good from head to toe, and you just an attractive woman, you're going to get attention. There's going to be some man who approaches you. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? There's going to be a man that approach you. If you are an attractive woman, you're going to get approached. That's just what it is. If you walk in and none of the men are attracted to you, you're not their cup of tea, you're not attractive to them, you're invisible. They're not going to see you. And that's what's happening with a lot of these women. No shade to her. I don't think she's an ugly woman at all, but she's on the thicker side. And when she walked in, they didn't see what she may think she is. They didn't see super attractive. They didn't see it. So when they don't see it, they don't respond. They're going to respond to the women that they are attracted to. And this is where a lot of women get upset because they're like, well, because in their minds, they're like, I'm a 10 and I know I look good and I know I'm great looking. Why won't they approach me? Well, you just like white women, or you just like these. No, they just don't like you, girl. They just don't like you. This is why I say a lot of these women be swearing up and down their 10s, and every man will be lucky to have them. Every man don't see you the way you see yourself, boo. They just don't like you. You're not as attractive as you think you are. That's all. Move on. Try to find somebody that might be attracted to you. Because it make no mistake, when you walk in a room, like I said, and you look good and you are an attractive woman, and you're going to get looks and you're going to get approached. But if that's not happening to you, and it's never happened to you, then maybe you need to go reevaluate yourself. That's what I'm saying. And stop thinking that you're the best thing since sliced bread, and actually go work on yourself. If you're looking at the women that the men are attracted to, usually they're more slimmer women, more fit women. Maybe you should go get fit. Take some notes from that and go get fit, get in shape, get yourself together, try to make yourself more appealing and get the man you want. But a lot of women are in their feelings about that, and they feel insulted. So they don't want to do it. It's like, well, you're going to take me as I am. Well, no, they not, because they don't want you. You can want them all you want, but if they don't want you, baby, you ain't getting them. Bottom line. Let's continue.
Just so curious and different. I don't know. I go to a lot of black spaces. So when I go to these spaces, I know that the niggas like other niggas. But when you're in these kind of spaces and everybody's involved, it's kind of one of those things where you're just you're unsure. So you don't want to step on any toes. And throughout the night, I saw this guy, not looking, but we're in a space where it's okay, if you already talk to somebody, that kind of piques your eye when you're in that space still. So this man talked to at least 4 white girls only, and mind you, there were several beautiful black ladies there, and that's okay. That's your preference. Nobody is talking about the preference. Let's not go there. Let's not say, oh, why can black girls date white guys and white guys can't date white girls? I mean, black guys can't date white girls. We're not comparing. It's just how he was basically looking through me I was invisible. I get your preference, but you can also show me respect and speak to me if I'm just talking to you, and you don't have to look through me and be looking over to your friend fuck this chick, let's talk to her. I don't know, kind of weird. But black guys that do that, it's just it's bitch, and he's dark skinned, I look like your mom. Okay.
Girl, who want to date their damn mom? Why would he want to date his mom? I don't think, I mean, you look like his mom in the sense of what? Your size? Who wanna date their mama? I'm just saying, you love your mother, but you don't want to date her, huh? I'm just saying, like, and come on. I don't know. It's just yeah, she was triggered. She was triggered because you can't tell somebody else how to act and think or be because you're offended. You can't tell somebody else how to act and be. If he looked through you because he didn't see you as an option. That's it. You should have just moved on. I would have just moved on. Okay, well, I'm not his type. Let me get out this man's face so he can focus on what he like. But you're not looking, but you looking because you know he talked to 4 white girls there. If I wasn't looking, I wouldn't know what you were doing because I would be to moved on way somewhere else. But you are focused because you checking out who he's talking to, and so he's talking to you notice that. So you were looking, you were paying attention. It's crazy. Jamil says she is chopped, especially by Houston standards. Right. Thank you, Jamil. I appreciate you once again. Chavez Greenard says, honestly, she's embarrassed because she feels Rick rolled on Jet 2 Holiday. Right. I think I get what you're saying. Yeah, she was embarrassed because she wasn't his choice. She's just sitting there trying to talk to him, but he looking at what he's really interested in. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, they get in their feelings because they realize, damn, when they go out, see, when you in your home, when you in your house and you in your bathroom and your mirror and you singing and dancing and you thinking, girl, you the shit. Oh, you telling yourself, I'm a 10. I look good, girl. Your girlfriend's telling you, girl, you a 10, girl. Girl, you 250 pounds and what? You still look good, and you look good. You look better than them 20-year-old skinny broads. Yeah, you could get hyped up and tell yourself that all day while you in the house on the phone with your girlfriends or whoever hyping you up or you hyping up yourself. You could tell yourself that all day while you're in the house. But when you go outside and you go around men and they don't see you and they're not approaching you, then reality sets in that you think you all that, but when it comes to men picking you, you realize you're not at the top of the food chain. You're not all that. They don't see you the way you see yourself. That's when reality sets in and they don't like it. Then they want to thank you, Chavez. I appreciate you once again. And then they don't like it, and then you realize, damn, they don't like me. Child. Successful MD, thank you for the super chat. Says all women are 20 out of 10 in their eyes. Right. But that's a delusional mindset. This is why I don't agree with being delusional. Don't be delusional. Be realistic. Be realistic. And the thing about it, the more we've heard more men on these podcasts, on social media and all over the place tell us what they want. They say they want fit, friendly, cooperative, submissive women. That's what they said. Attractive women. They want that. But what the big girls say, take me as I am.
Take me as I am. If you can't love me at my worst, you don't deserve my best. Because I'm who I'm going to be. And if you don't want me, you don't deserve me at my best. Like, this is what they say.
You don't want to make any changes for a man. I don't look good for a man. I don't do all this for a man. Who the hell you doing it for? You're not trying to get a man? But then why would you be mad when the men don't approach you? If you ain't doing it for a man, why are you mad when they see through you and they act like you're not? Well, I don't understand. I wouldn't be concerned about that if that's not my intentions. It don't make sense. Thank you, Successful MD. I appreciate you. It just doesn't make any sense. That's why I say a lot of these women be just straight lying. They be lying. Just straight lying. Y'all know y'all secretly crying. I told y'all, we coming up on the months. It's the holidays coming up. You're going to see more videos of women crashing out and crying like, why I can't find a man and why these men ain't approaching and all this kind of stuff. You going to start seeing more of that. We already seeing it. These men aren't approaching me. I want somebody too. I want somebody to love me. Why they don't take me seriously? Why? Because you don't take yourself seriously.
You don't take yourself seriously. Boo-boo. You don't take yourself seriously. So why should any man take you seriously? Why? You don't take your weight seriously? You don't take your appearance seriously. You don't think that you have to do anything for a man, baby.
So you contradict yourselves back and forth. I'm doing it for me. I ain't doing shit for a man, you know. But then why these men ain't approaching? Well, and I don't need them. I want them, but I don't need them. I take care of my own bills. I buy my own shit. I do this. Why these men aren't approaching us? They're not running behind us. They're not. Why do y'all give a damn? Why do you care? Y'all don't need them. Remember, you can do it yourself. You can do it all by yourself. You don't need a man. Y'all think men are stupid. I said this before. You think you can say any and everything you want about a man, and he's just gonna still just run behind you and be like, I want her, like he crazy or something, like he under a spell. You gotta watch out for that too, because they say these women out here now they're getting desperate, trying to put spells on men now to make them fall for them and all this kind of stuff. So it's a crazy situation. It really is. And I just want, and listen, once again, I think I applaud the men who understand what's going on and get it, because, these women are out here trying to finesse men, but they're not successful at it. They're getting finesse. Just saying. I got one more clip for you guys that I want to share. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up. Here we go.
I'm just to the point in my dating journey where I'm not holding anything back. I'm telling the whole truth. When I don't have a good time, I'm saying it. We're all gonna know, because I'm not gonna go home like this. I recently had the worst date of my life by far. Like, I'm talking by a long shot. If it's one thing about me, I know how to have a good time on a date. I do. I may not get to that commitment part because I am a little commitment phobic. Excuse me, I'm working through my issues. But I know how to go on a date and I know how to have fun. So I can do that. This was the worst experience I've literally ever had. I'm not going to go into too much detail. I don't like putting my business out there. But throughout the whole date, he just had an attitude. It was like being on a date with, what's his name? Oscar the Grouch from Sesame Street. That's what I felt like I was doing. That's who I felt like I was out. I felt like I'm talking to myself when I'm on my period. That's exactly what it felt like. And I told him, like 30 minutes in the date, I'm like, you seem like you don't want to talk. You seem like you don't want me to ask you no questions. You don't want to get to know each other. We don't have to talk, baby. We don't. I said that. And he's like, well, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten since 8 a.m. I'm sorry. I thought that you were 30 years old. I thought that you knew how to feed yourself and like manage your emotions. I was bewildered and shocked. I've literally never experienced that. And it only got worse from there. Like it literally only got worse. So at the end of the day, I was straight up with him. I said, man, I wish I'd had a better time. I do. I wish I'd had a better time. I had a terrible time. He's like, I don't know what's wrong with you. I enjoyed myself. I said, I'm sure you enjoyed yourself. You were out with me. So I'm sure that you had a good time. Me personally, I had a terrible time. And I told him every single thing that I did not like. I was honest, and I never saw him again. And I never will. That man is blocked. I've never blocked a man that I don't even know. We don't even know each other. We don't have a history at all. And now you have to be blocked. That was a first for me, baby. That was a first.
Girl, well, he just wasn't interested in you. Like they be making videos about stuff that's just self-explanatory. He didn't really like you. He saw you on that date and he realized, he said, within himself, this ain't really my cup of tea, and that's just what it is. That's all. He wasn't interested in you, and she making it seem like her blocking him was a big deal. You blocked him, you moved on. He clearly wasn't interested. That's he really showed you he wasn't interested. He wanted to eat. He realized this just ain't the chick I like. So whatever. He didn't care either. So you're just responding to him not caring. That's it. That's just it. Classic Perspective, thank you for the super chat. Says, with that voice, I'm going to pray for your hubby, LOL. Thank you. Thank you, Classic. I appreciate you. I don't know why I like that voice. It's funny to me too. Thank you. I appreciate you. Successful MD says, they think that stale can of sardines is priceless. Well, we all know it's not. They know these men are not impressed anymore, baby. These men are not impressed, and it shows. They're not impressed with the stale can of sardines. Successful MD. Thank you for the super chat. Jamil says, DeeDee, that voice and that shoulder movements combo when you reenact the women is always hilarious to me. LOL. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Thank you. I appreciate you once again for the support. Thank you once again. Baby, it's just a hot mess. Jamil says these women knowingly take mentally ill dudes serious and think those guys represent all men. Thank you once again, Jamil. I appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, once again, we know they picked the wrong guys, and yeah, they say this is the nature of all men, and it's not. It's really not. And, you know, once again, these women have bought into this idea that they're all the prize and they're so great. And then when they meet a man who don't see them as such, they're confused. They act like they're confused. Then like, why these men acting like this? Because they don't give a damn. They don't really see you the way you see yourself. I say this all the time. And I think women need to be more aware of this. Listen, so when you're going out on these dates, you understand that everybody don't see you the same, that you're not the prize to all men walking. That men look at you for who you really are, and they see red flags when they have a conversation with you, and they check out when they realize, oh, this ain't when you start talking that boss chick stuff, these men already be checking out. They'll finish the date, some of them, and they just check out. They don't want to say anything to you. They don't give a damn. So y'all act like y'all doing something when you're responding to a man that don't give a damn about you. No, that man clearly was not interested, and that's it. And she realized it, and she was mad. Yeah, the men are done. They don't want to deal with these women. They see y'all from a mile away. First off, y'all don't realize when they see the wig, when they see all the makeup, when they see these long nails, when they see certain things about these women, certain men are just turned off, and that's it. And the thing about it, once again, men don't move like women. So the thing about it, men may not tell you, because men are, to me, more polite than women in many cases. So men will be more polite about it. They're not going to tell you how they really feel. They're not going to tell you, oh, I don't like your wig. I don't like you. You look a hot mess. They'll just be nice about it and just finish the date, and then they won't talk to you ever again. You see? But women will be sitting here wondering, why did he ghost me? There's no way he could have ghosted me. Yeah, there's way he could have ghosted you, girl. Especially if you look like a ghost. Hell, he see you for who you. We see beyond what you what something that he doesn't like. But they have, you know, in their minds, they're like, huh, I know I look good, so he couldn't be ghosting me. Yeah, he could. You're not what you think you are, boo. You could be a nice lady, but he couldn't get past what he saw and what he wasn't attracted to. That's just that. Y'all gotta be more realistic. You gotta look at it for what it is. You gotta accept the fact that a lot of these men are just not attracted to you. They're just not attracted to you. And no matter how gorgeous and beautiful you think you are with your wig and your makeup, a lot of these men don't see you as such. And you got to be okay with that. And try to find somebody that may be interested in you and like what they see, because every man is not going to like what you see. But when you've, drank the Kool-Aid and you believe that all women are 10s and every man should just be lucky to be with you, in spite of your weight, in spite of your look, in spite of all of that, that's when you make a fool of yourself. When you just assume that that's what it's supposed to be based off of what society has told you, that's when you make a fool of yourself. And that's when you have to, accept the truth of what it really is and not be in denial. Because when you're in denial about it, you gonna go out here making a fool of yourself. Because you really think that these men, that you're the prize, and all the men out here should be lucky to be with you and your wigs, and then your bait and your kids. Because that's another thing too. These men don't want these women with all these kids, but y'all trying to force men into wanting you with the kids. But these women are saying every date they go on, the man it was all good till he found out she had kids, and then she never heard from him anymore. And what that's what y'all should be aware of it, because if you're not aware of that, it's going to hit you hard. But if you are aware of this, when you go out, you should leave. Look, I have kids. Are you interested? So they could tell you right away, and you can, not waste your time and waste their time. You know what I'm saying? That's what you should do. Tell him that. And tell him you've been ran through too, so he can just, decide, nah, I don't want this. Spookatized women are ruined for life. Tell him they don't believe that though, Successful MD. Thank you, Successful MD. Mauricio says, it's in the eyes, gentlemen. I can see the crazy in the eyes a mile away. Watch the eyes. The crazy is in the eyes. Okay. Just watch them. You might be right. Thank you, Mauricio. I appreciate you. Yeah. So yeah, it's a delusional state that we're in. It's unfortunate because we need families. We need men and women together creating families. Creating that dynamic. It's important. So if you could find a woman who has the majority of the qualities, please get her and wife her up and make an honest woman out of her, and y'all build something, because it's scarce out here. The dating pool is horrible. And I don't believe that it's the man's fault that is that way. I think men have issues, women have issues, but the women are in denial of their issues. And I think that's much worse because they're walking around acting as if they're the prize and they don't have to make any changes, and they're constantly blaming the men. And I think that is causes a major issue when trying to find a mate, and trying to find a man. And then on top of that, they're delusional, they're entitled, and their expectations are too high. And they still believe that they're settling when I think most men out here would be settling for them. So that's my thoughts on that. Listen, I've dropped the link. If you want to come up and give your thoughts on any of the topics discussed, go ahead and do it, because I'm not going to be up here that long. So I put the link, pinned it at the top of the chat if you want to give your thoughts. Make sure you are hitting the like button. Please hit the like button, y'all. Make sure we have the likes in the building. If you want to give your thoughts on the topics, go ahead and click the link. The link is pinned it. I pinned it to the top of the chat. Go ahead and do so. I'm not going to leave it up there too long, but yeah, I thought this was an interesting topics to talk about, because once again, right now it's delusion. The delusion is at an all-time high. And I think, once again, I still believe that women need to be called out on their BS. I think women need to be made aware of their shenanigans and their delusional state of mind, because I don't think it's healthy for a relationship. And if you are someone that is out here looking for a healthy relationship, you have to be made aware of that. It needs to be brought to your attention, because otherwise you're going to go into a relationship thinking that you don't have to do anything. You're going to go into a relationship thinking that it's all about you. And I don't think that that's a healthy, that will build a healthy relationship. I think you need to go into a relationship understanding the male perspective, just as much as you want the male to understand your perspective, and y'all need to work on things together. You got to understand that a relationship is work. You can't think that, because you've been single for a lot of years and you had to do a lot of work to take care of yourself, that when you finally get a man, that, you don't have to do anything, that it's all on him. No, that's a mistake that you'll be making. And that's not going to be a way to build a healthy, stable relationship, because no, a relationship takes two. Y'all both have to put in the work, and you have to be open and understanding to each other. It's not about one person doing it all and you do nothing, and you're entitled and he's supposed to sit there and just cater to you 24/7. No, it don't work like that. It doesn't work like that. It really doesn't. Jay Tillman, what's going on? Jay Tillman, how are you?
Hey, DeeDee, how you doing? How's my mic sound?
Good. Sounds good. Classy,
okay.
What's going on? How are you, Classy?
Hello, DeeDee. How are you?
Good. Glad y'all are here. So, Jay Tillman, what's your thoughts? What do you want to expound?
I just wanted to come up real quick because what I had to say couldn't do all the typing. So I've been out of the game going on 19 years now. But I mean, from what I can see and what I've noticed in the dating market, the men are consistent. The men have always been like that. If you give the men cheeks, they're going to take it.
Right.
High, low, big, small, cute, ugly, it don't matter. The women have changed their standard to try to meet men's standard, and it's ruining them in the dating market. Because
wait, you said the women have changed their standards?
The women are changing their standard to men's standard. They want to be like men. Like, yeah, they don't want to be men, but they want to be like men. I want to be that boss. I want to be this. I want to earn the money. But then they don't want to be the providers that the men know we have to be.
Right.
So when they get to that point, it's like, what are you earning all the money for? What are you being the boss for? What are you doing? You're taking all this responsibility on yourself for? You're not gonna win. You're not gonna. I mean, it's just putting us at odds. People at odds, single people.
That's what I say too. Like, okay, so the expectation of most men, right? Men think in terms of, and let me know if I'm wrong. I'm just saying, men, in terms of men being protectors and providers, men are looked at in that way for potential families. So if you're out working, you're working, of course, for yourself initially, but if you want a family, you're thinking in terms of family. I need to provide for my potential family. I need to provide for a wife. I need a house to put the family in. You know, I need to make enough money so that I can afford a wife and kids, because that's what I want. With women, they already have kids. You're already created a broken home, right? You're taking care of your children, but you want to get a house and you want to do these things for yourself. So following the man, it's not quite adding up, because you don't want, if you get a man, you, like you said, you don't want to contribute financially. You want to work and be like a man or equal to a man, but you don't want to take care or do anything that would help the man. You think that the man should still come in and be completely traditional while you can be modern. You know, while what's the point of you working and being a modern woman where you're only responsible for you and the kids you created with, you know, in broken homes or whatever. But then you want a traditional man to come in and pay all the bills. You would think that if you're working hard and you want a man, that you would say, okay, we're going to come together. My money, you bring your money. Let's build up on this. Let's really have a life. No, they don't want to do that, which is insane to me.
Yeah, the craziest thing I've ever heard a single woman say, or a single mother say, is, I don't want to go 50-50 with no man. I'd rather do 100% my own.
That's dumb as hell.
And you're like, what? It just literally doesn't make any logical sense in itself. And I'll just say this one last point, and I'll get out of here. I got to go do some other stuff real quick. But there's nothing. There's few things outside of joining together in a relationship and receiving love from someone that a man can't purchase that a woman can do. I can hire a cook. I can hire a cleaner. I can hire somebody to fulfill me physically. I can hire somebody to do all that stuff. But a woman can't hire someone to support her financially.
Right.
She can't. So it's like we should be together. Like, every relationship is going to be different. There's going to be highs and lows of income and all this, whatever. Somebody might have a bigger burden in the beginning versus the end. You might support their career early on, and then they make it. So then now later on, you can like fall back and maybe do your passion or something like that. Everything is different. But the way I see the dating market going now, man, it's just crazy. And it's kind of sad just to see the repetition of all the women on Ashley, on Kendra, on all these dating panels and podcasts and shows. And they all saying the same exact thing. And they don't even look across and see the other women sitting next to them. You're competing with all of those women for the same guys you say you want. When it's a good dude that makes $30,000 to $40,000 living somewhere and not one of these big cities, who would love you and be faithful to you and cherish you and treat you good. You just don't want that. You're selfish. So that's all I had to say.
Yeah, and then on top of that, they like, some of them are saying, "Oh, it's not about the money," but it is, because that's what y'all lead with. You, it's a contradiction all the time. Oh, it's not about the money, but then, oh, he can't make under a certain amount. So it is about the money. It's about the money, but then you can't find, the guy in the tax bracket that you're looking for to take you seriously. And then, you're still out here by yourself complaining. It's real dumb, honestly. And, I try my best to try to put the information out there to try to get women to understand what's important and how you can win. Men to me aren't that complicated. I say it all the time.
Super
I
simple.
said, because they're not. Y'all are not. It's us. We're the complicated ones. I put myself in it too, because I've been a little bit complicated too. And I had to, that's how I know. And I had to realize, like, come on, it's not all about you. You know, it's not about you. You got to understand how to compromise. You got to understand to work with the, you got a good man. You got to know how to work with them. And so this is why I try to tell women, listen, y'all going about this the wrong way. You're going about it the wrong way. And this is why y'all failing at it. But you don't realize that you're failing, that you're wrong. You keep blaming all the men. And I have to say, listen, because they call me a pick me, and they're like, oh, well, all you do is bash women and support men. No, because y'all are the one, y'all need the reprimanding at this point. We've always been told what a man is supposed to do, what they're not doing, and they're this and that, but we never really address the women. And these women are just walking around. This is why they think that they're the best thing since sliced bread. You think you're the queens and the prizes, and you're not, because you don't even know the first thing of what it would take to get and keep a man. And then when somebody tell you, it's like, oh, well, we don't want to do that. Well, we're not going to do this. But you have all of these expectations for these men, and it's just not right. It's not realistic. It's just really not. It is not. And this is why they're not getting what they want, honestly. But they don't want to listen. Like, you're not getting it. You don't see the outcomes, but you're still complaining. But when we say, hey, you need to do X, Y, Z, maybe this will get you a better outcome with the man, you still don't want to do it. So it's not that they don't know. They don't want to do it.
Something as simple as the gym.
Yeah.
You say gym and they're going, man, you're going to get your head chopped off.
Yeah, they want to be fat forever, fat forever. You want to be fat forever.
Yes,
And
I will be waiting
say,
for you in the hospital. Please keep eating.
In business, I say, brothers, man, we are probably the most accepting demographic as far as a woman's body type, man.
That's why all women love us.
I'm talking about up and down the social economic thing. Like, if you get a poor little, they kind of get what they can get, but throughout the social economic ladder, brothers kind of will work with a lot of different body shapes.
Yeah.
So, but you could be a little, plus, but just go to the gym. Don't be plus.
Right.
Like, work
I think
with
that's
us.
made women comfortable too. So it's made them more comfortable to now it's getting out of hand. And, they just think that every man should just accept them the way they are. I think some men, it depends on your preference. Some men are okay, with the woman who's a little bit thicker, but she's healthy and she goes to the gym. Some men don't want a thick, some men want a small, it depends on your preference. But I just think, I don't know, it's the entitlement of a lot of women. I think, like I said, I think men are simple. I think men would be open to certain things if they got a good woman. If she's a good woman, but she's on a little thicker side and she's open, she go to the gym. Most men will be like, yeah, I could rock with her because she's trying and she's overall a good woman. But I think a lot of women have these entitlements. They talk crazy to men. They think that they're better, and you're fat. And you got a lot of other things going on. So it's too much going on that y'all don't want to work on. And then you expect the men just to bow down to you and treat you like this queen. I think, no, I don't think so. It's too much. It's too much for some of them.
Thanks for having me up, DeeDee. I got to go. I just wanted to come up and say that.
Take care. Thank you for being
See
here.
you, panel. See you, Classy.
All right, see you later, sir.
Yep.
Classy, you want to go and say something?
Oh, well, I mean, man, I'm trying to figure out where to start because we've been at this, we've talked about this so many times, and I'm at the point now that when I think about stuff like feminism, the way women are acting nowadays, it actually freed men mentally, meaning that we find more peace while they sitting there straightening themselves to find the correct man, but they don't want to do anything to get said man.
Right.
And it's like, okay, like you can talk the trash about every other man, but you're kind of like, okay, where's your results? Could you please show us your results? You say you're better than us. Where are the results? And there are no results. And when you think about it, when you look at the Kendra G show, I have to ask everybody this question. Have y'all once heard any of these women who want these 100K making men or these career men ever say anything nice about their baby's fathers?
Nope.
Have you noticed it's the same pattern? Oh, he's in jail or he is currently deceased, God rest his soul. But when you put the two, unfortunately, we don't know how the man became deceased, but when you put the two together, prison and death, your assumption is that he got caught doing some F stuff. It's never that he got caught in the middle, caught at the wrong place at the wrong time. He was a good man and got caught at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Mhm.
It's what goes through our subconscious is he's probably was doing something illegal that got him
Mhm.
into the grave. I mean, God rest their soul. But they never say anything nice about the men that got them pregnant. So it makes me think, how are you asking for a man like this, yet every guy that you're pregnant by is in jail?
Yeah, because that's what they pick, street dudes. You pick street dudes, and a lot of times they lie about what's really happened. A lot of times they just be sleeping with them. A lot of those situations are just that, situationships. They don't really be relationships a lot of time. You just screwing. That's all it is, and they end up with a baby.
But they
And then
killed.
they want
Oh,
to
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I interrupted you.
No, and they want to make it seem like it was a relationship. A lot of times it's not a relationship. They just having sex with the person and they popped up pregnant. They were never together. That's the stuff they don't really want you to say. When they get on these social media streets, you got to make it seem like, oh, we was in a relationship. No, you wasn't. That's why you have 3-4 baby daddies, because you was going from man to man. It wasn't nothing serious. And oh, he he for the streets, he don't want to be here, and he was never there. A lot of times I've seen this happen growing up. You just having fun with him, and then you get pregnant, he like, oh, I ain't ready for no baby, and then you go with another guy. It's why it's easier to have all these baby daddies, because none of these men are committed to you. You just having sex with them.
Well, see, and the problem is now they're facing they're going to have problems now that Trump has now changed how the system is working now. Now I think he made it where they only get 2 years on the system and then they have to go back to work or
Yeah,
something like that. And
next
from
week.
what I've heard, I don't know if it's 100% facts or not.
Mhm.
However, the thing that gets me is that, oh shoot, I lost my train of thought. Oh my God. I was thinking about something last night. You know that new story about the monster about Ed Gein?
No, I don't know about it.
It's an old story about a man back in the 1950s, which is what spawned off Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Oh, okay.
Psycho,
I
and
think
all
I
this thing.
know
And you notice what the problem with all those men's were?
what.
Mothers, no fathers around.
Right.
I'm thinking in the future we might see a whole lot of that, unfortunately, because there's a lot of mentally unstable parents and a lot
Mhm.
of mentally unstable children walking around on the planet with no guidance because they have
Mhm.
irresponsible parents, not only from the mother but the father as well, being
Yeah.
so promiscuous. And I always tell these women, a lot of men who do not have kids, a lot of them don't want to date women with kids because you
Mhm.
still have a soul tie with that man. Blood for blood. You took in his sperm, you're taking in a portion of his DNA. No different than when we do a kidney transplant. For example, if a person didn't like pickles, but he received the transplant from another person that loves pickles, what is he going to start doing? He's going to start loving pickles because he
That's
has a certain
crazy.
soul tie
Mhm.
from the person. He's taking on his body part. Now, I'm not saying in all cases, but I've seen this happen. Man starts
Right.
scarfing down all type of pickles and he didn't like them at all. This is why I try to tell people you have a connection with that person. I don't care if you call your baby daddy a SOB and all that. All he has to do is say, you know what? I know you miss me. Just give me a blowjob. She's gonna be like, all right. But go ahead. I digress. I'm gonna let Mark go ahead and get off.
What's going on, Mark? How you been?
D, what's going on? Listen, I made an exception for you. I was sitting up there cooking my single man bachelor meal,
What you
and
cook?
so I
My
turned
brother.
I turned the stove down. I said, I gotta holler at girlfriend. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Listen, you know me, I don't be fraud, and I send you the pictures. So
Yeah.
you know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I hate to say it, but I'm the only boy with 4 sisters, and they did not want me to go to Columbia. They
Oh,
did not. I was like, listen, sister, I can't get a date. I'm out of here. And
mm,
I'm going again November, and I'm going again February. Every 90 days, I'm out of here.
Where you
I'd
headed to,
rather
Mark?
I'd rather deal with the women over there
Mark,
than
where
to
you going?
spend the
Where you going?
Cartagena, Columbia.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Dee seen the picture, so she knows what I'm doing.
No, I passport too. I know what you're talking about. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
But I'd rather deal with those women than to spend a single dime on a modern woman. And
that's crazy.
what's that girl, Sarah? What's the,
Fontenot?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Classy. I saw you mention that. I have the clip of her. I'm gonna talk about it.
I hope it's the same clip I'm thinking of.
It
Because
is.
this chick came out and said yesterday or 2 days before, I got the clip. If you don't got it, I'm gonna send it to you. She said that any man that's making under $50,000 should not be dating.
She, it's child. I don't this. She's engaged now. It's quite interesting. I'm
And
gonna
he
get
looked
my
like
take on
a
that.
beta male. I seen
Oh
it.
my God, Mark, you got to see that new clip I sent DeeDee. It's crazy.
It's probably the same clip. It's
No,
probably
no, it's a different clip. I know what you're talking about. What she said, that was a different clip. This is on her
Yeah.
own podcast with 3 different women. She brought her fiance on the show,
Mhm,
and what the answers that he was giving. Oh boy,
mhm,
she looked like she wanted to snap his neck.
mhm.
I think I seen part of it. But another thing is too, what's going on with this dating thing is that real women need to hold the 304s accountable. You know what I'm saying? They need to. There's only, you got DeeDee, Danica Marie, and River. They're probably the only 3 that's really saying it. But other than that, a lot of podcasters, they scared to say it. And I'm gonna say it just like I always say: a 304 deserves nothing more. And
Amen.
a woman with a BBL, she's not gonna treat you well. She's just gonna put you through hell. You think I'll be going to Colombia if there was decent women around here? But they could smell it on me, deep, because now all of a sudden these women are like, "Hello, how you doing, Mark?" Nope, too late.
Mm, mm.
Facts, sir. Facts.
Too late.
Pure facts.
Them women in Colombia, they're proving their love is valid, and they making me good salads. And that's all I can say about that.
I
You
like
know what I'm
his
saying?
words.
The first person I sent the pictures to was
Hey,
D,
how's it
so
going? Can
she
you hear me?
knew. And all that height stuff, you got to be over 6 feet in America. That don't mean nothing. I'm 5'8", and the shortest guys under 6 feet got the most beautifulest women in Colombia.
Yep.
That's crazy. C. Irvin, thank you for the super chat. Says Chad and Tyrone don't offer relationships. Right. Narratives and Dialogue says interesting title, Lost V Card, No Way Out There. Now, what it says, now way out there. Right. It's crazy. Thank you for the super chat. Mauricio, yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Mauricio?
I can hear you. How's it going
Yeah.
today?
Good. How are you?
Yes. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I've been hanging out, listening, and taking everything in. And I think it's just kind of crazy how I don't think that I think sisters kind of stick together and they kind of stay with sisters. And then you got the guys out here who they say they want who are making more and more money, but these guys are going into all different types of communities and seeing all different ethnicities and different cultures. Like for me, I work in engineering. I upped my income $32,000 this year, and so at my job, I'm always the only black guy in the office. It's a lot of Indians, a lot of white people, etc. But I'm normally always the only black dude there. Um, and so I see how these other women kind of operate around their husbands, in the office. And I'm like, wow, this lady brought her husband, lunch today. And meanwhile, my ex told me she was never going to make a sandwich for a man, and I was like, I don't understand. I don't think you realize what your competition is doing out here, and they want to blame the brothers for leaving the community. But I'm like, dude, listen, I'm sorry, my life kind of improved once I left the hood. I can't lie about it. And so, do I blame the brothers for leaving? It's a double edged sword. I'm kind of thinking out loud. But then I look at like Will Smith, Steph Curry, even Michelle Obama with Barack, and
Yeah,
I'm like, yo, these people are publicly humiliating their man.
they are.
And I go to the office and I see Steve over here, his wife is bringing him lunch today, and she's like,
Mhm.
kissing him in the office and everything. And I'm like, bro, we missing something here.
So you said girlfriend, she told you, she literally told you she would never make you a sandwich?
Oh yeah, she was one of my exes. We don't date anymore, but she was like, no, I'm never gonna make food for a man. I was like,
That's crazy.
what am I supposed to do with this information right now?
That's why she's your ex. That's why
Yes,
she's your
yeah,
ex.
one of many reasons. I'll tell you what.
That's crazy to me. And I just is it the feminist idea that, oh, I can't do anything for a man? Like, what is it? That's just the dumbest thing ever. Like what? But you will want, but I'm pretty sure she wanted you to do a lot of things for her.
Oh yeah, are you kidding me? Well, she wanted me to give up a lot of my
Right.
choices for so
Hmm.
that she can make all these choices for me. Even when we started going to therapy, and yeah, it seemed like she wanted to go to therapy with me to almost help my therapist fix me on a certain level. And I was
Yes,
like,
Lord.
dude, this ain't
You
this ain't
wanted
it,
to
bro.
help your therapist.
Fix me. That was never said, but yeah, it was kind of implied by actions. Um, and so yeah, that was my whole thing. Like I look at Steph Curry and Will Smith and this whole situation, and
Hmm.
I'm like, bro, this is why we down bad, bro.
Hmm.
Like if we can't uplift each other, even and it's not all black women. I'm not gonna say
Right.
it's all black women by a long shot. Um, and I guess it is out here in Atlanta. It is. Yeah, I don't know. What do they say? It's not all black people, but it seems like it's always black people.
Right.
And so I'm like, dude, we got to clean up our communities. We got to do better. We got to educate our kids. We got to take care of our families. And that starts by not paying women to leave the house for starters. And I'm like, that's never going to change. But I think it was Virginia came out and they said like mandatory 50-50 custodies, and they've seen divorces plummet already. And so
Yeah.
maybe the states will
That's
follow.
Kentucky.
Was it Kentucky? Okay,
Yeah, it's Kentucky.
facts.
Maybe that's a start. Maybe,
You know, that law was put in place like 7 years ago. These
Oh,
results
really?
are good because there's that much time that passed.
Dang.
Yeah. Hmm.
Mm,
Is Kentucky a Republican, a red state?
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Okay.
believe so.
Daryl, what's your thoughts on everything?
How you doing, Miss DeeDee?
Good. How are you?
Just fine. Um, my thoughts on the issues like discussion that goes back to discussion I had with Miss Glorious Love last week. She was wondering what to do about a man that can't take no for an answer. And what I want to say is that she needs to realize, along with the modern women, need to realize chivalry is dead. It's not coming back. You kill the women have the modern women have killed it. They crushed it. The men are not no longer. I say, well, your your blanket protection has expired. When you tell us you don't need a man, you can do all by yourself. You choose the bear. When you say that, you said it long enough. We heard you. Now it's kind of like the women now want to complain about what the men are not doing now, and then they want to tell the. And I think Mark said it earlier that you got men that's making 30, 40K, but they'll be faithful. They'll love you. They'll if you tell them, if you show a man any type of love, you'd be surprised what he'll do for you. You'll be surprised at how resourceful he is when you show him any type of love. But the women nowadays, they think they're supposed to get the chivalry along with leave me alone. Don't bother me. I'll do it myself. They try to have both and they can't. So right now, I like I tell you, Miss DeeDee, like I tell you, I'm a singles mother's magnet. They
Yep.
find me out. They find me out. And the thing about it is they know I can be that provider, that protector. But
Hmm.
I'll look at them and I will vet them. Basically, I'll ask them all the questions about the child and the relationship with the child's father.
Hmm.
And that'll tell me everything about her. You ain't gotta tell me why you broke up with him. You ain't gotta tell me why you don't see him no more. I just want to know how often does he see her? How often do you have him? How old is he or she? And we're getting all that, and and then I go and let them talk, let the women talk. But it's kind of like you nowadays you have to vet. You have to vet. And I heard Mark talking about I'm going to Colombia. Well, come on, I'm in Argentina. I'm just downstairs from Colombia, so I'm just down here. And what happened while I was in Argentina, I was sick. I made a friend out here, and he lived with his girlfriend and everything. And she found out I was sick. You know, that woman was calling me up and said, "You sick? You need to go to the doctor. I'll go with you. You want me to cook something for you? I'm gonna cook something for you so you know you can be better." This is not my girlfriend. This is somebody else's. But she's offering to do that for me because she found out I was sick. And it kind of like, I'm like, there is no way in the US that would go down. There's no way that would go down in the US. If I told a woman, even my girlfriend, if I told her I was sick, she was like, "Well, you home? Yeah. Okay, I'll talk to you later." That's the extent of the conversation. That is the extent of the conversation. But I know how it feels to have a dinner, but I had a woman, but this was 30 years ago. 30 years ago, I had a woman bring me lunch to my job. She brought
30
lunch.
years ago? Jesus.
Yeah, it was 30 years ago that happened.
Damn.
That a woman brought me lunch to my. There's no woman done that since. And she.
What do y'all think the deal is? What's wrong with I said this before. Before me and my husband got married, I cooked. I had to eat too. So I cooked and made him a play. I'm cooking this. You want to play? Yeah, he want to play. Give him what was the problem? I don't understand. It's like, Jesus Christ, do they think cooking for a man is gonna set them back or something 100 years? What's the problem? I don't get it, y'all.
I think for my ex particularly, it was because I was the better cook. And so I think that was I've always been the better cook in all my relationships, first of all, because I enjoy cooking. Yeah, I enjoy eating. You know, so I'll just whip up something together and I think
So that's why you think they didn't cook?
Yeah, I think she didn't like that. You know, it was kind of another power struggle, probably.
That's stupid. My husband cooked too. And there's certain things that he cooked better than me. But I mean, I don't get it, y'all. I really don't. I just be like, I don't know.
I don't know, DeeDee. I learned how to cook. Like, I found my recipes off of looking at Pinterest. So I mean, you got a lot of men have to learn how to cook because we live by ourselves. We have to clean our own place either way. Right. However, I don't know. The last girlfriend I dated, she almost burned my kitchen trying to steam kale. So I said, never cook again.
Yo, what?
Not the kale.
But men are the best chefs anyway. So
yeah, I agree.
Listen, everybody here, man, we all probably know how to cook. I used to cook in college. That's how I got laid. I used to cook. I had to cook them over to the crib, man. I cook them a meal. They been eating cafeteria food all year long, man. Shit, I cook them a little bit of food, a little wine. So there ain't no mystery, you know. So I always cook, man. I didn't marry my wife for her to cook for me. You know,
well, I get that, but I'm just like, if you ask your wife to fix you a sandwich, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not. Look, I cook. I've been cooking for years. You know, we got children. Children got to eat. We got to eat. So you got to cook. My husband go to work. You know, now I've been at home with the family, so I was the main one cooking, but then my husband would come and cook certain things, you know, when he had time or whatever. Now it's different. Everybody cooking now, but I'm saying, like,
let me answer that, DeeDee. Feminism. Let me tell you, there is no more submissive position a woman is in than when a man is making love to her or having sex with her. She is no more submissive than in that position. That's why men can't forgive their wives if they give it up to somebody else. And the fact that they won't make you a sandwich after they did everything in the bedroom for you, it's not just arrogance, it's psychosis. I mean, there's a real problem with that. I mean, you know, I gave you everything. You did all kinds of shit. Now it's a problem to make a sandwich. Yeah, this is kind of crazy. That's some crazy shit to me. It always has been.
Yes.
And I've been out of the game for a long time. But I'm gonna land it here. one of the things I think guys get wrong for old farts like me is that they think I don't know women. I've been married to a woman for 38 years. She never turned in her woman card. She's been a woman for every single time every year we've been married. I know a lot about women. A lot. So it's just crazy shit. But I don't pity you young guys. I don't pity you guys. I swear to God. I really don't. I really don't. But a lot of stuff they talk about today was happening back when I was there. But like when women talk about like it's a flex because they're in college, I'll land them this way. When I went to college in the 70s, there was always more women there than men. Always. Even back in the 70s. We had a ball, but that's the way it was. Anyway, I'll land it there.
Successful MD, shout out to you. He says, silly women look for a carrot to dangle over you, which I agree with that. And
well, men give it to them.
That's true.
Men are stupid enough to give it to them.
That's weird. Connor, what's your thoughts on all of this?
No, I think it's got to a point where, like, man, you see what Russia and China are doing, especially China. They told Ling Ling over there, if a man has assets before you marry him, you cannot get those assets before the marriage. So they're making law changes over there. They ban OnlyFans like Russia, so they're following suit with Russia with that. Yo, even like Rollo Tomasi said this on his show, like I think it was a month or two ago. I heard he's like, it's gotten so bad to a degree with hypergamy and women in the West. And he said, I hate to say that you're gonna have to regulate some of their rights or make some law changes if you want this to change. It's gotten that bad. And it's a shame because it's like, not to go into the Republicans, they got the male vote for the Trump thing. You would think you would look at when they did the audits, child support, because I think that just needs to go with women being able to work now. And I just think we just need law changes. Otherwise, it's gonna get so bad, society's just gonna collapse. Dudes don't quit. I already done quit dating out here. Let me just link up with chicks here and there. I don't really need these. I know how to cook. I work in the construction industry. I make decent money. Off season, I go work a little job. I'm straight. I don't need a chick for money or anything else, like other than here and there stuff. And I know how to cook better than most of the women I've ever been with. So I just think, like Rollo Tomasi said, just to land here, it's got to a point we're gonna have to make some law changes, man. And I hate to say all that because not to go into my grandmother, and she was a traditional woman, but she was a feminist in a way. But she was a feminist though for women's rights. She hated the sexual liberation movement. She hated you dressed a certain way in her house or you didn't leave. She was traditional in a lot of those ways. But did she want to look women's rights and right to vote? And did she march Martin Luther King and all that for civil rights? Yeah, she did. But the sexual liberation, or like the stuff she would say stuff like, bro, what are these chicks doing? Like this is what it is, man. It's got out of control. We're going to need law changes to a degree. Otherwise, it's only going to get worse to a point where I just think society's going to collapse on itself if it don't change. It's gotten that bad. Because once dudes quit, society's over. And I mean, we're going to need changes and we're going to need demands to a point where I was joking to my homegirl the other day. I was like, hey, man, dudes still do this construction and put the lights up and everything. We're going to get to the point with these women, with these feminist groups, we're going to need law changes or you're not having lights today. The internet ain't on today. They're going to be tripping. They're going to be in this streets. They turn the lights off. That's how far it's going to have to go.
It's gotten so bad that
it's that bad.
It's gotten so bad that the studs don't want them no more.
Right.
So that's how bad it's gotten. So who's go on them?
Hey, D, what's the name? Anton Daniels.
Yeah.
He had a show. I was watching one of his episodes about 3 months ago. Guess what he said? And Anton been married for about 21 years. He said that if he was not married, the best thing that he would do is situationships. That's what he said.
You're right. I watch the show here and there.
I agree with that too.
Keith Sweat, who's one of the brothers from Atlanta. Keith Sweat was in Colombia when I was there in August. I think I sent you the video too, D. He was there.
I did see.
He was there. Now you gotta understand, D's what's the name? Keith Sweat's a millionaire. He live in a mansion. Even though people they pick their choices for vacation, but the fact that he was there, something just ain't right, like the song said.
But think about the situationship thing you were talking about, though. That's the point. Because if you listen to women, a lot of guys don't. they never say they want husbands. They want partners. I think men should really understand what the women are saying when they use that term, because it's not interchangeable. A woman doesn't want a husband. She just wants somebody that she could have a real a business relationship with. And the reason why it's not a covenant marriage, no women, hardly any women are asking for that shit anymore. So, because they really want to be able to get up and leave when they want to. If you're not holding your end of the bargain, they're gone.
At the end of the day,
So
at the end of the day, at the end of the day, most women, modern women, they don't want a good man. They just want the 401k plan. That's it. The title and the ring. They want to be able to brag to their girlfriend. Yeah, he got me these 3-4 carats or whatever the case is, and they still want to be able to cheat on you. You know what I'm saying? Now, if
and
I
the
was
government will pay them to do it.
Right. But if I was Steph Curry, I wouldn't wait until I get retired or whatever. I go to the lawyer and file divorce papers right now, because she's gonna try to get more even after he retired. So if I was him, I just go kids or no kids. I get rid of her.
You're right
Problem
about
is
that,
he's
Mark.
screwed no matter what, though. With his
You're right.
situation, and he in California too. That's lifetime alimony in
I
California.
got a different take on that. I swear to God, you guys, because everybody, you got to be right that she just can't be one of those kind of chicks who's just too stupid to keep some of the shit to herself. But I gotta wait to see when she files for a divorce, because right now I think she's just talking out of turn, and I think she doesn't have a frame of reference to understand how bad that shit sounds to the rest of the people.
He should file for her.
No, but either way he loses. Either way he loses.
Yeah, he's gonna lose.
No, he's in a very lose-lose situation, especially there in California. I know some of those family divorce laws are bad.
Yeah, I really think she's gonna want to divorce him though.
Yeah, she will. Sorry, go ahead.
I'd like to see that. I don't know if I would like to see that. Then everybody else is right, because in order for everybody else to be right, she has to divorce him. And usually the women divorce athletes when they retire.
There you go. That's what I was gonna say. Thank you, Mr. Payne. Thank you.
No, that's a fact. That's a Lewis Williams.
He only got 2 more years. We only got Curry's only going to work for 2 more years. The only thing is, none of us need to feel sorry for him, because he's the kind of guy who gets divorced, he'll be back on his feet within a couple of years. It's us working guys. If our women leave the working guys, and we're older, we're all crushed up. But Curry,
it's hard to get Johnny Depp's lawyer.
But we always got to remember, fellas, that simps will not be respected; they'll be neglected. We got to remember that.
They will. And I think that women's power, the thing they do better than all of us, is they are more social, and they can, their power is in their numbers. And look at the church. Like, it's all sisters, and they all got each other's backs. And for the most part, I think the sisterhood's dead, but they can group together and organize better, I think, than we can. And like you said earlier, our power, what's going to happen is enough guys are going to have to get together and say, this ain't right. We want mandatory paternity tests. We demand it. You know what the feminists are correct about? The feminists are correct that men make the rules. We do make the rules. We're the only ones who can enforce the rules. So if we finally stand up and say, no, we want mandatory paternity tests at birth, done, it could happen. If we wrote in, if we called our politicians, write the state reps, go down, vote in every election, local, people get all crazy about presidential elections. But our power is in our local government. We can affect change so much better on the local level, writing into the governor, writing into your state reps, and saying, hey, this is what I want. You want my vote? Put in some mandatory paternity tests. Get rid of this alimony. Mandatory 50-50. That's how we can really get forward. And I think the power is in our hands more than ever right now, because, Democrats,
brother,
they got nothing. They got nothing to offer me. I'm sorry, as a heterosexual male.
Except the simp army is more numerous than the non-simp army.
That's true.
The man simp army is true.
Why y'all scared?
No.
Why y'all
wait, hold on, brother. I'm not talking about fighting. I'm not talking about
We're just having a conversation.
I'm talking about numbers.
The reason I said that.
Okay, go ahead.
The reason I said that. The reason I asked y'all why y'all scared is like, let's say for the paternity test, you don't have to wait for the government.
Oh no, that's true.
The government, you can go ahead and just do it. Just go ahead and
pin her down.
But the reason y'all, the men won't do it because they're afraid of what the women gonna say.
Yeah,
They're
Yep.
afraid of what they're gonna
Facts.
say.
So that's what started feminism.
You're right
You
about
know
that.
And
what's
That's
that's
what
crazy
started
though?
feminism.
You know what's
and now
crazy as a oh go ahead, Dara. I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm jumping too hard. Go ahead.
and that's why the thing about it, y'all just said the men not only write the laws, but the men are the one enforcing the laws. But then is that the case? If you're a man of your home, of your house, and you got a question mark whether that child is yours, why are you listen, it's already bad enough that alimony and child support is not for you. Those courts are not for you either. So
Right.
you wait for those laws. We still waiting for those laws to be in our favor, and we've been waiting for a long time, considering somebody has been under those courts. But when it comes to paternity tests, why are we waiting for a law? No need to wait for a law. I know Tennessee's got their mandatory, and I think Texas did too.
New Jersey lets you.
It was New
A lot of
Jersey,
people say paternity.
Tennessee, and
Yeah,
I think Texas. Yeah. Speaking
but
medically, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah. So there's a couple of states that do have it in there. But as far as the paternity test, why y'all waiting for a law to see if that child is yours? Listen, the number one thing is if you got a question about it,
You gotta get a test.
you need to get a test.
You gotta get a test.
Go say,
Amen.
You gotta get a test.
go ahead,
He's-
set aside that $10 a paycheck. Set aside what you got set aside to go to the lab core and take the baby and just do what you need to do. Because number one, if you feel like that there's a question mark, then you need to go ahead and just realize, listen, you worry about her, what she gonna say after she finds that you did this. You need to worry about the fact that she put you in a position to even question it.
That's
That's right.
true. I
he's
agree.
he's exactly right, because at the end of the day,
Sure enough.
if you are not the man, he's exactly right, because at the end of the day, if you are not the man that dropped the cream, you shouldn't be the one to provide the green.
That's 100% correct.
You was
You know
waiting to
what?
say that one. Right? You was waiting to say that one. Right?
You be having some words. I love it. Let me tell you something. You gentlemen need to be like Justin Timberlake and tell them to cry me a river. You know what's sad about the medical field is that they'll do a blood test on a baby genial and find out if they got sickle cell or whatever type of disease, family thing, but they will not do a DNA test. That's crazy.
Nah, you got to stand on ground, because at the end of the day,
Hey,
you
there's
gotta
another
stand-
point to that too. If you married, if a man is married, and if your woman ever asks for a separation, you have to divorce her. Because in every 50 states, if she gets pregnant, that kid is yours. There's a presumption of paternity in every 50 state that if your wife gets pregnant, even if you're separated, that kid's yours.
That is true. I did.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
No,
yeah.
that's true.
So if you separate, if you're separated, wait, say that
If you're
again.
separated, if you're even formally separated, as long as you're still married,
Yeah.
if if she gets pregnant
By somebody else.
Here's another thing, DeeDee.
That's
Listen, if you're married like me, if your woman as a man ever asks you for a separation, she's got somebody in mind that she's going to be banging out. Why would you get a separation? And and then she's out there on her own. What do you think she's doing? Playing Twitter, finding herself? What the hell does that mean?
Right.
But as far as a guy is concerned, you got to think about divorcing because she come up pregnant. The state, every state, all 50 of them presume that you're the father.
the brother is right, because at the end of the day, we also got to remember that it's easy to make a woman sexually holler, but you still got to be the man to provide those dollars.
I got to give me a notepad and take all this.
We go do the replay on that one.
It's the truth. If a woman's not feminine and sweet, she must be sent back to the streets.
Right. Okay, so
But even
this is
beyond,
You didn't know that, DeeDee? You didn't know that presumption?
I did not. Is that all the states, or is that certain states?
It's
That's all 50 states. Yeah. A lot of radical feminists passed that in the 70s and 80s when they were fighting for the rights after the
that's
19th
not where it
Amendment and
came from,
everything.
bro. That's
So,
not where
yeah,
it came from. It's a
lot.
holdover from the. I'm sorry. You might have saw something, but it's a holdover from the old days when we used to be a colony, because that's how it used to be. It just never got changed.
So you separate from your husband, legal separation. you go sleep with somebody else, get pregnant, he's still presumed the father of that child.
Absolutely.
That you're married.
And
Yeah.
they could charge, he could be put on child support for that child.
Yep,
Absolutely.
that's
Even
true.
with a
Oh, yep, that's a
paternity
fact.
test.
He has a small window
To
of
do
maybe getting out of it. But most guys are not knowledgeable. But first of all, most guys don't even think about it, right? My wife got pregnant, they think it's their kid.
Right.
So
But if she wanted a separation, then so she filed for a separation and then she's
this is
pregnant.
my
You
mind
should
working.
go.
Listen, any woman who wants to separate from her husband, what the hell is she really doing out there? What do you think
Well, he
she's
might be
doing?
thinking, oh, she wants separation, but maybe she got pregnant before they separated and just assume it's
Yeah,
his.
he might. Depends on how long the separation is. But I'm just thinking about the psychology of it as a married man for a long time. And my wife even came to me and said, you know what? I need a little break. I want to separate from you for a little while and all like that. What the hell am I supposed to think?
No,
What do you need to separate? I mean, you could live in the other part
Back
of the
is
house.
getting broken.
Right.
You got that work husband.
Yeah, man. You said somebody's banging it out. Are you kidding me?
I don't believe in separations and taking breaks. That's some bullshit. That's some BS.
Exactly.
Separations and taking breaks. What?
No. Remember DJ Envy? His wife took her like a month.
Yeah, I thought that was ridiculous. I say no. He dealing with a. I don't really like to speak on people's marriages when they marry, but that marriage is weird.
Well, she's making him pay for the fact that he had infidelity. He's been paying for that thing for his whole marriage.
Yep.
Some say allegedly she cheated on him.
She cheated on him whether she did it or not. How are you going to sit on the couch saying your man can't please you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That does suck, man.
I remember that was horrible. Like, Lord.
Well, like I said earlier, respect must come before sex. And in Envy's case, Will Smith and Steph Curry, in their situations, Jada hates the beta. And I'm gonna tell you right now,
I broke my pen. God,
Steph Curry not only needs to file a divorce with his wife, but he needs to go to Colombia immediately. And sleep with as many women as he can, and that's how she'll get the respect. He needs to do that right now. He needs to file for that divorce because if he waits until he gets retired, it's going to be worse. He needs to do it right now.
But she probably knows that he's probably not that type. Maybe. I don't know.
Like I said before, Jada hates the beta.
Every woman hates the beta, and that's why you gotta hold strong. You gotta stand firm, hold the line. Everything would change immediately if every man changed immediately. It'd be like, no, I don't actually want a woman with kids. I'm not even gonna sleep with you for this one night. Even if a woman came up to you and said, hey, I'll give it to you tonight. I don't even want anything serious, but I got 3 kids. Most dudes would be like, all right, I'll bust it one night. Cool, whatever. I'm out. But if we didn't even do that, I think most women would turn around a little bit. Women set the standard for men. Men don't need necessarily like fast cars and big houses outside of the fact that we know women love fast cars and big houses. It's the same way in reverse. If women knew that men don't like X, Y, or Z, I have faith that they would stop doing X, Y, or Z.
Well, men are saying it, but they're pushing back against it, saying, why wouldn't you want to accept a woman with kids? Your mother was a single mother, so why can't you accept me?
Yes, right.
I don't understand why they say it's like 24 million black men in the United States. Not all of us came from single mothers.
Right.
First of all, it's an outdated caricature. I mean, I did come from a single parent household, and there's a lot of dysfunction in that, and I don't want to recreate that.
Right.
So women are like, oh, well, your mama was black. Your mama was a single mama. I'm not trying to get it on with my mom, bro.
Exactly.
Thank you. I don't want to picture my mother's face while I'm seeing her boobs.
The funniest thing about women with kids, the funniest thing, 62% of women who have children want single men who don't have no kids.
Right.
But if you notice, they never say what they're going to do for those men either.
No, that's another story. That's most. But I mean, they want a man who doesn't have any kids. And then you ask them why. Well, I don't want baby mama drama.
Right.
They don't want themselves. That's the point.
Right. They wouldn't date themselves if they was in that position.
And they don't want their sons to marry women with kids either.
Right.
That is true.
So I mean, women just, you know what, DeeDee, we need to put all you daggone women under psychology kind of.
No, I say they're mentally unstable. They really are.
I send your videos to my
men
sister.
got their own problems, but man, women are a nice
psychopaths.
Yeah, boy, we could make a lot of movies about women.
What you got to do better podcast.
I see you went out. I said they batshit crazy. I'm just saying because this the stuff that they say is confusing to any man. If I was a man, I wouldn't date him. I
couldn't do it
and rack up my coins and live my best life.
Hello?
And if I was, horny, I go pay for it with the women
that's what men
that
are doing. That's what men are doing.
Yeah, that's what they're doing right now. I don't have to keep you but for a couple of minutes. I don't need you long term. Get out.
That's right.
I understand.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I think I'm okay. Just wait a minute.
Pesos,
Yeah, I would, because I wouldn't want to deal with this and then work hard, and then she want to take my money, and then she wake up after 20 years and say, "Oh, this marriage doesn't serve me anymore. I'm out. I don't care about the kids. You don't do it for me anymore now." And then you want all this money. You want me to pay you and take care of you still after you decide to leave, break my heart. I done been loyal to you all these years, could have been out with all kind of women, but I chose not to because I'm faithful to my wife. And then you turn around and want to leave because you fooling with somebody and all this kind of stuff. Hell no. I won't. I understand how hard that could be for men. Like, women don't care about what men go through. Most men don't get on social media and be crying and talking about, "Oh, my feelings, she broke my heart." But I'm pretty sure y'all hearts have been broken at some point. Like, somebody did you something that you didn't like, and you have feelings too. You're just not boo-hooing about it. To us, y'all are humans. So I understand men go through stuff too, mentally and all of it. But women act like men don't have feelings. Like, they could just do anything to a man. We don't give a damn, and to hell with men. But you want them to have all of the empathy and sympathy for you because you are a woman. He's a human being, and I think they don't consider a man's feelings, and I think that's horrible. So if I was a man, I would not fool with these women.
For men, you got to get your heart broken early. You got to get your heart broken. I was 19 when a chick ripped my heart out.
Yes.
And that saved my life.
Wow.
Because I didn't have nothing to lose then. So once I got my bearings together, you harden yourself a little bit. You start to look for some stuff. The younger, the better.
But D, you're 100% right. You're 100% right, because I'm a single bachelor and I'm 59, never been married. But from all the stuff that I've learned, especially red pill content, all I'm gonna do is smash and dash and keep my and tell a girl to leave quick, fast. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's facts.
That's so funny shit, man.
I'm gonna come through with my ding-a-ling, but I ain't promise you
This is some good stuff, dude.
The reason why I'm laughing is it's really funny though, because I have a philosophy for young guys when they talk about their women trouble. My woman's leaving me. I said, you need to get back in the saddle as soon as possible. The best solve for a man when a woman leaves you and breaks your heart is get in the cut as soon as you can with somebody else. I'm not talking about falling in love. I'm talking about just go ahead and hit it, get that shit out of there, because somebody's rocking your ex-girl and you don't want to be looking at that shit.
Yeah,
that is true.
Yes, that's very true.
I
think
was
you
saying
do
those.
need your heart broken early.
Look, I'll add this.
Go ahead.
Chads and Tyrones don't offer relationships.
Nope.
But why is it they seem to get low key the best outcomes than the nice guy or the simp guy? This is what I'm kind of confused at. Like they kind of low key the most sort. They kind of the low key most sort out type of person.
Well, Sylvan, I was one
And they
of
don't.
those.
And it's ironic they don't offer a relationship. That's the irony. They're sort out the most, but they don't offer a relationship. Like 99.99% of them don't offer a relationship.
So what does that tell you? See, it tells you that they're looking at the women who
the feminists would say.
They know how to get to women who
Well, the
don't want
feminists talk
relationships.
about how men invented marriage to own women. Well, they say men invented marriage to own
Yep.
women. This is what the feminists say. And I'm like, well, maybe I'm starting to believe them because it doesn't even seem like some women value relationships that much either. They say, oh, Tyrone, he just wants to hit it and
But
quit
Chad
it.
and Tyrone
Okay, who
don't give
cares?
that. I hear you on that. It's just that they don't offer that at the end of the tunnel. Chad and
But we
Tyrone.
I feel
But the
like
quote unquote nice guy or
Yeah,
simp
but
guy does.
see, Irving, because the women that they follow have been told by the girls, the ladies, the elder women that enjoy your 20s, bang out as many guys as you can.
Yep.
So when these
Yep.
guys come in, they're not looking for it. They say, okay, I'm only 23, 24. I got time for a relationship, but I'm all
babe.
traumatized up in my 30s, you know. And so when Chad comes down and they're 23, 24, living their best life, you know, he's just another Johnson.
That's
Okay.
it.
Some of those women want
But they're banging. You're saying they're banging all of these guys, but they're banging. I don't see them banging all of these Chads and Tyrones. They're banging all of these quote unquote nice guys and simp guys, and then when I'm ready, I want to now bang Chad.
You think the nice guys
Tyrone
are
Chad.
getting all, you think the nice guys are getting laid like the Chad and Tyrone?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
no,
Not
it's not.
necessarily.
No. It's
I think it's
Nasty
twofold.
Nichols
This
was
is
getting
twofold.
Well,
The
my man
situation is
Jared has something
twofold,
to say.
guys.
Go ahead, Jared. Speak up.
Yes.
Oh, you
No,
The
you go
nice
ahead. You go ahead.
guys- yes, the nice guys are getting banged. You know why? Because they
Right.
study the women. They find out what they like to do, then they'll
There
get
you
them.
go.
they're
I've
probably
done
not
two
really the
things.
nice guys. They're perceived as nice because they know how to play the game. Probably.
Yes.
Chameleons.
So Miss
Does
D,
that make you a nice guy because you know how to finesse the
The
honeys
sneaky
out of the
poker
box?
tactic.
That don't make you a nice guy. You know?
Yeah,
I
they're not the nice
give
guy.
them
That's the
that
thing.
some side.
I think
I
they're
give them
faking. They know how well they master how women think and they perceive as a nice guy, but they're really not to get what they want. Probably.
I've done that
Well,
before.
you've heard of the sneaky effer idea, right? The sneaky effer, it's in gorillas, they say the female gorillas want the big bad chimp who can keep all the other chimps away from them. But those chimps they're not advent climbers, so they're not in the trees, they're on the ground and such. And so the women will come out of the trees to mate with the strongest males who are like sitting on the ground down here. The sneaky effer is a smaller monkey who can climb in the trees and such with the women, but can't get the women. The women are unimpressed by him. So he'll like go down to the ground level where the women are there and basically kind of kind of R word some of the female chimps and then jump back in the trees. It's the chameleon tactic. It's a whole thing that's studied in biology. Yeah, they call it the sneaky effer syndrome because it's the chameleon idea that you just said. It's the guys who are like, well, I don't care about none of this, but I'm willing to regurgitate anything that a woman wants me to say, and I'm willing to say and do whatever she wants me to say. I don't care about yoga, but I'll go to Saturday morning yoga class with her if she's been after class, we got a shower and whatnot.
I can agree with that. I can agree that guys do things for sure to be perceived a certain way. Again, I think it's twofold because some of these women know that this guy's just doing things to get me, but I don't want him anyway. He's just available right now because the guy I want is not available. So I'm gonna book this date with this type of guy. Like I've been on a date with someone once, and she told me that she'd rather date me, but she was dating another guy before. And the guy kept calling her, but she said I wasn't free. I asked her, like, why did you date him? And she said, because you wrote me and said he wasn't free.
What do you mean by date, C. Irving? What do you mean? A date to the happy ending,
Netflix
or
and
just
chill?
date?
No, just a date. It's just I'm just saying it was just basically a date that I had, right? And we must have been talking about like our past, dating experiences and stuff like this a little bit. And she told me that she wanted to see me from like weeks ago, but I wasn't available. And she had like during the date, another guy was messaging her, and I was just like, it's fine, like you're dating other people, I'm dating other people, it's cool. And she's like, oh, it's another guy who's been wanting to date me for the longest, but I put him on hold because I wanted to date you. But she still has his phone number in her phone. So I think like a lot of them
Did you
know,
get
a
the
lot of them
goodies
know,
or not? We want to
a lot
know
of
if
them
you
know the
got the goodies.
game.
Did you get the goodies or not?
I did, but I'm just
Oh,
saying
okay. Okay. All right.
that's not.
Well, okay. See, Irvin, did you get post pecan clarity?
There you go.
Well,
Post-nut
yeah.
clarity is real,
Well,
man.
for me, it's like I'm not going to pursue a relationship with the person. So it's like,
Right.
you know, if I know this is kind of how they move, you know, and I think a lot of guys can be on that end. Maybe I was. I think some guys are on that receiving end,
But
where
I think
it's like,
women, see, Urban, I think some women know what's up. They know the game. And this is why they expect you to pay. Like they expect a man to do the most for them because they know eventually you just want sex from them anyway. So I'm gonna make you pay for it in a sneaky way. Pay, you know, take me to this expensive restaurant so I can get the most out of it because I know you just want sex from me. I think some of them know that.
I agree.
A
I
lot of them
understand
know
that, but I think even the other guys, I think a lot of the guys are probably willing. The nice guy or simp guy, or however you want to put it, guys, like those guys are willing. But again, I believe they're in a rotation too. Even though Chad and Tyrone may have a rotation, I believe that women know how to as
You
well.
gotta assume that every man, if that woman ain't with your wife or something,
in high
assume
interest and
every
low
man is in a
interest.
rotation. If every woman you meet, if you're not in a real relationship with her, you gotta assume that you're in a rotation.
That's true.
Shout
Well,
out Coach Greg Adams. Every man
I
pays.
understand.
it's the simp is messing up the game too. And I'm gonna tell you this one last rhyme. If a woman really likes a guy, she thinks he's highly attractive, that man can take her to White Castle and she
Oh
will
yeah,
hit the
no
booty,
doubt.
no hassle.
Man,
I
speak
No
it
doubt.
again.
I said that before.
No
That's
doubt.
true. If she really likes him and she's attracted to him, he don't have to do much.
You don't have to do nothing.
Yeah, that is true. I think every woman that was
Attraction.
attracted to me bought everything for me.
That's
See, that tells you what category you in, sir.
No. I think the least date I took a woman on that was attracted to me, I took her to a botanical garden. All we had was 2 Chico sticks and a bottle of water.
There you go.
I will say
sticks
the
and
more money
water.
I've
Oh my
made, the more
God.
generous women have become. That's for sure.
I'm sorry,
Hey,
my
some guys have it. Some guys, some guys got to work for it. I mean, it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
You got to
I'm one of
be.
those guys, sir. I'm one of those guys. I've had to make the simp moves of the 5-star hotel, trip to Vegas, and just
Man, you
just
did
to
it
get over.
big.
Oh, you serious? I don't believe that. I never had to go that far, but I never,
You went to
over.
But you're not a simp, sir. I'm a simp.
I mean, wow.
I'm a born again simp.
I've been a simp. I've been a simp before. You can't call somebody a simp unless you know how to be one.
Just call me Neo in the Matrix.
Okay.
Wow, man, you flew a woman to Vegas? Wow, that's crazy word.
Yeah, I sure did. Yeah.
Hey, what happens in Vegas still burns back in Georgia.
That's why
What happens in Vegas, it still burns back at home.
Oh my God, y'all are nuts. Oh hell no.
You gotta ask a woman straight up. Listen, if I'm spending and lending, or are you bending? Just ask her. Just tell her.
You got to.
Oh yeah,
My boy dropping
that
bars
If
on
she
the
says
date.
decline, you say goodbye.
If she says, I understand. I understand. Let's go.
Yeah, that's a funny thing. I mean, we should just have a panel of men talking about some of their past history. I mean, before I got married, man, I had all kinds of different things. I had a sister. When I was a freshman in college, a girl, my first girlfriend, she came in and she said, "Listen, if you didn't have this single room, you would not be getting none of this." And all I did was look at her and smile and say, "Yeah, I didn't say shit." I think sometimes you got to learn how to keep your mouth shut. You gotta just don't say shit. I just sit down. We just passed the doochie on the left hand side. And we got busy. She's like, "You wouldn't have got none of this if you didn't have this room." I said, "Okay, get that."
That's
I mean, sometimes you'll see a lot of stuff and you learn before you go. Not many times happened to me. I had a girl say, "Listen, I don't want a relationship." There's another girl, but every time I need a itch scratch, and can I call you up? Man, all you got to do is take me out a little bit to a concert here once in a while, and it's all yours. I said, really? Really? I didn't say that, but I was thinking it.
But you're thinking it, yeah.
I was thinking, I said, man, shit. Yeah, she was cute too. Golly.
Oh, I had one of those situations. I had a homie lover friend. I had a situation I could have sex anytime I want with her.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. So
Yeah.
you know what? I never put anything past any woman. So that's why when I got married, I had to make sure that my wife looked at me as if I was her number one choice. That's the only thing I could tell young guys.
There you
If you're
go.
gonna get married, you gotta be reasonably assured as best you can that when you do your risk reduction vetting process, that your woman
Yes.
looks at you as her number one choice.
He's right
Can-
about that.
That means you
Mr. Payne,
dig
can I ask you
down.
a question?
Yeah.
How do you know that I'm not married, so I'm old too, but I'm not married. But how do you know a woman is your number one choice? How do you
Well, no,
predict?
not my. Well,
Oh,
how she views you. Listen,
Or,
because
no,
okay,
but
go ahead.
what
Tell me
class
that.
he's saying is a good question as
you
well.
have to. It's a good question. You have to look at the way they move, right? You ask your questions, but you got to see the way they move in the crowds with
How does
other
she treat you?
guys. You know how many. You know how much time she calls you before you have to call her. She's my wife. You know my wife. She probably can hear me talking. She was all over me. I said, this woman either she likes me or she's crazy. But she's all over me. So we kind of hit it off. And I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, but you know, when I first met her, she might have got the big flip phone. She had a phone call, she would go here or there. All that shit stopped. I had to meet her parents the very first time we went out, you know, and she had a curfew at home. She had this at home. She was, you know, so there was just little things I read. The way she talked to me, the kind of things she wanted to do, just the way she just hung on all that stuff. I said, this chick likes me, man.
Sir, you get
Yeah.
my full salute right now because I can see how giddy you are when you smile about your
Agreed.
wife. You look like Santa Claus before Christmas.
Not Santa Claus.
Hey, listen, she's the
Not
only
Santa
person who
Claus.
still sees me with the same kind of eyes she did 38 years ago. When she
Wow.
looks at me, she looks at me the same way she looked back then. And
That's
God
amazing.
bless her, because I certainly don't look like
You
Would
know
you
what?
want to
You
be
said
single
something
in today's
that
world?
I thought was key too.
that.
Men, the men who talk too much. If you talk a lot, just
Oh,
stop.
you
That's
got that.
a definite turn off to women. Men who talk too much.
I've been one of those men.
That's a fact.
I've talked women back into their chastity belts.
No,
Yep. Yep. Oh
they be
yeah.
talking. Oh God, no.
Yeah, thank you, DeeDee. You gotta say it, man. Tell those guys to shut up, man. Let this shit
And
happen.
then I think
No,
too,
that's true.
what you say too, like what you talking about might make the difference too. If you sounded like you trying too hard and you just keep
That's
saying
why it's
stuff
best to say
like,
nothing.
oh God,
It's
no.
best to say nothing. You
Yeah,
Yep.
know, if
like
she
women
asks me
don't
a
like
if a
that.
woman asks you a question, just give her a little, you know, don't say nothing.
Give it either don't
Say,
say give it a short. If she asking you a question, give it a short answer.
that's
Okay, I admit I was the nerd. I mean, I had the nickname Noodle, so I was always talking a lot because I did too much and I always failed. I had to learn from my mistakes.
Okay.
Oh
My
Well, at
God.
mom
least you
told
learned.
me that I would be perceived as a wise man if only I could keep my mouth shut long enough.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, D, I'm gonna say one more thing and then I'm gonna make my food because I'm starving.
Okay.
I got 4 sisters. I'm the only boy, right?
There you go.
My youngest sister is about 49, 50.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what she said to me years ago? And at the time, I didn't know about the red pill stuff, but I started dawning the way these women are talking. She sat up there and she told me, she said, brother, if a man does not put up with my shit, he don't really love me.
Okay. Well,
So,
maybe he probably
yeah.
don't really love you. Shit. Ain't nobody.
And I couldn't say nothing to my sister because she makes some damn good food, so I ain't want to cross no risks, you know?
That's funny.
Yeah, but
Oh,
they in
man.
their real field, they're in their real female nature. When they
Yeah.
sit up there and say certain things, they mean what they say.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. You just said something there, brother. You know, a lot of men forget that as men and women, we are still subject to our nature, no matter what the day and age it is. You know, a lot of guys lose sight of that. Women have a nature, even though it might be corrupted with the internet and all that other horse shit. It's still a nature there.
Yeah.
And if you can't, and the guys who know their way around still know how to ferret that out.
Mm-hmm.
You still know how to ferret that out of a woman, you know, and you should. That's something that I think guys should study. They would have, because it transcends time. Like for us as men, we pretty much been the same as Neanderthal time. We look at her, honey, she's pretty. We want to bang her out. Shit hasn't changed for 1,000 years.
That is facts. I'm the greatest gentleman in the world, but I've looked at every woman like I wanted to get all up in her orifices.
Right.
No,
You
we're
know, and
just
then we just make a discernment that, you know, you can't have everybody. And then you just act like a gentleman. And one of the things women don't
Every
realize.
woman?
No. Well, hold on. Now.
Well,
Hey, there's some
I'm just saying
ugly
about
women have love
biological
too.
nature.
Ugly women
I've had women that look like Mr. Ed. Trust me.
But the problem is, men go out of our way to understand women's nature.
Yeah.
We've been thinking about
You
women's
think so?
nature since we was 12 years old. You know,
Yeah,
we're
the
like,
nature
man, what
or
do
just
girls
how to
like?
get
How do I
laid?
get a woman? And it feels
Yeah,
like women
okay.
give
So that's
no
not
brain
knowing their
space.
nature. That's just how to get laid. I'm talking about actually knowing how women think and how they work.
Well, that's how
That's
you
a
keep a
little bit
marriage
different
running,
than just
right?
being
Like,
just banging them out. It's a
yeah.
little bit different.
Well, my
Yeah.
point is that it
Yeah, but
feels
where do
like
you learn
most
that
women that
from?
I've
Where do
met,
you learn
they give
where do you think where do you learn that from?
What, the
Think
Like
nature of a
how
woman?
women
experience.
nature of women. Me personally, I learned it from the Bible. As soon as it said, you know, God cursed Eve and said, "You will envy your husband," and we think that envy is like, or it said, "You will desire your husband," rather, but it's more of an envy that the Bible talks about how she will want to usurp his power and take his power away. I know everyone's not a Christian. I'm not saying everyone has to be, but that story spoke volumes to me. And then later on in the Bible, it talks about, and many times, you know, don't give your strength to a woman. And for me, the red pill originally came from the Bible. And then, you know, and then now the red pill is just men talking about their experiences with women, despite how they try to demonize us. But what would you say? I think that, yeah, that's my point was
Well,
we spend so much time trying to understand women. It doesn't seem like spend much time trying to understand us.
and
And
that's
I
a
think
part
that's
of
the disconnect.
their nature. That's what I'm trying to say. But they ain't
Oh,
supposed to spend that kind of time. Hey, listen, you mentioned Adam and Eve was a good thing, right? The one thing that everybody missed is that Adam was responsible for not being tempted by her. He was told she offered him the figurative apple. He was supposed to say, "What the hell are you doing?" He was the first simp.
Yeah, he's
He
exactly
was the
right.
absolutely first simp.
that's
That is
correct.
He's
true.
exactly
And we've been paying for his weakness ever since.
yeah, he's exactly right. And women, they're not even supposed to dress like 304s compared to the word. I think it's in First Timothy when the word talks about women not supposed to dress like harlots. So it's been backed up for a long time. The word of God was saying true. Women are not supposed to carry themselves like hoes. They're not.
Right. Well, let me ask y'all this. Do y'all
Exactly.
think that there are certain things that you just have to accept that women are? Or do you believe that there are certain things
Yes.
that
That's
women
actually a
are
Yes.
that
great
you just
question.
not
Yeah,
going to
of course.
Yes. The answer is absolutely yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
have to embrace it like men, right? We're supposed, and I'm gonna shut up here because I know I'm talking a lot. Women are naturally chaotic. Not to mean that they're out of
Exactly.
control, but chaotic by nature. It's up
That's
to
true.
men
Yeah.
to give them order.
Yes.
You
And the
know,
man has
we
to
give
have his own
women,
order.
yeah, we're the ones who're supposed to give them order. Women have, what's the other thing that I like about women, right? Women are naturally selfish. When they look at happiness, it's an internal thing. For men, it's purpose, it's obligation, it's those
Society.
things that makes us happy. Accomplishment, you know. Part of it is for the admiration of women too. But the point really is, when we say happiness, is different than when women say happiness.
That is true.
You know,
I
there's
agree.
a lot of those things. That's nature stuff. It's not
Yeah.
something that's positive or negative. So once you see it, you know, and this is the
You
thing when I
can't
tell
unsee
people,
it.
I've been up with a woman for 38 years. I wake up with her, go to sleep with her, talk to her, and my woman has never turned in a woman card, not for my ugly ass. She's still a woman. And so when guys give me some shit, I said, you know what? What's harder? Being able to maintain a relationship with a woman for 38 years or bang one out 2 weeks, every other 2 weeks, another woman? Which one is harder? Which one do you really think is harder?
But you know what? I think
That's a great point.
that having that experience, I think for me being married for over 20 something years, it I think it's helped to shape me because when I was in my 20s, I was a mess too. Like as far as like confused in a certain way, like didn't know a whole lot. So when you're with the person, the longer you're with the person, it helps to grow you and shape you, and you
And
become
both
better.
ways, both ways.
Yeah, and so I
But
just think a lot.
different, but not the same, but both ways. You
Yeah,
both get shaped.
yeah, and I think a lot of people don't get to experience that because they're not with the person long enough. Like everybody's just kind of dipping in and out, you don't get to stay in a relationship long enough, because as soon as it looks a little rough, people just like, I'm out, and you don't get to that other side of it, I think. Yeah, I think that's, people don't get to see that, because if a person shows a sign of something that you don't like, even, you just like, okay, now I'm not tolerating that. But to me, long relationships, you go through ups and downs. I don't think it should be super toxic, but if we're talking about women and their nature, which is kind of toxic in a sense, there's something that you end up kind of dealing with when it comes to women, because like you said, we're a little bit selfish by nature. I know I have been, but I think over time I've gotten a lot better. I've learned more as I got older. I realized, okay, I can't do this, or I can't think like this, and but my husband helped that, because it's like almost like guidance in a sense. Like, so when women talk about, I don't need a man to correct me or tell me nothing, I think that,
it's crazy.
yes, you do need it.
Can I add one more thing?
So, DeeDee, do you think like women are scared of
Let
being
me
shaped?
add one more thing before DeeDee goes. Here's the one thing with my lady. I burn credits with my woman. This is the thing I tell guys. You always have to replenish a woman's emotional account. Everybody has an emotional account, even though men, we're different. So I burn credits. I'm not high maintenance, but I can get there, And she puts up and does all that stuff. And I make sure that so when I say replenish the credits, I'm not talking about spending money. I'm just talking about the little things. Money might have to do with it. You just keep replenishing that. So she has the energy, just like you have to have the energy. So that's what we do with each other. We replenish each other's supply, right? So we can just keep going. And we have kids, but we never stop liking each other. So our kids are empty nesters now. And for some reason, she still likes to hang out with me. So I said, hey, fellas, ladies, DeeDee, thanks for letting me hang up.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey, back here. I'm glad you went starting to come live again on Fridays. It's
respect, Mr. Payne.
I appreciate
Respect.
you. Thank you.
Right. Take it easy, everybody.
You too. Take care. See, Urban, what was your question?
DeeDee, yeah, I wanted to ask you, do you think some women have a fear of being shaped in a relationship?
Yeah, and I think it's because of what they've been told and what society tells them. Oh, don't let a man control you and all this kind of stuff. It's not about control, but I think when you look at women who are single, right, and the choices that they make, you have, like I said earlier, you have free will to choose and do what you want, but look what y'all choosing to do, because there's no guidance there. Women are back and forth. You want one thing and then you switch it up, and we're difficult. We are difficult people by nature. I like I said, I feel like I've been difficult in my lifetime, and I realize it though, and I think they know it, but they're also dealing with what society tells them, and oh, no man can't tell you what to do and all of this kind of stuff, and they look at it as a negative way. But they know that they're confused. They don't know what they want. They go back and forth. They make horrible decisions, and then they complain about it and somehow blame a man. But then if you get a man and he tells you, hey, don't wear that dress, that's too revealing, I don't want to have to, I want to make sure that you're safe. They don't get it. It's like you want something, but then you revert to wanting something else. It's a back and forth thing. This is why I say women are complicated. I think they make situations more complicated because of the way that they think. We have emotions and our feelings. We do things based off of our emotions and our feelings, and I don't think that's the best way to handle anything. So I think it might be a level of fear there, but also they don't know what they're doing a lot of times. And I'm not saying that women don't have a brain and you can't think for yourself, but the way we think and we feel a certain way, we react off of that. I don't think that's the best way to make it.
That is true.
We complement each other. And I've heard it said as a coloring book, men are the lines, women are the colors that color inside the lines. And here we have a beautiful picture, and so, yeah, I mean, women might be more chaotic and men are more orderly or industrious, some say. And I think, again, not to Bible thump, but to bring up the Bible, Adam and Eve, I think they were both operating in their lowest sense, in their animalistic brain. And I think that transcendence is something like, hey, let's be conscious adults who can think and make choices and not act out of our first impulse like animals. And for men, that means, having your order, having your way, saying this is where my ship is going. If you want to get on it, it's leaving now, because it's not diverting either way or the other. and that's how men present order into the world. But then women are beautiful and they're courageous, and they say, here's the color and the chaos of life. Like, why don't we stop and go on a walk in the park or something? Constructive, I guess, chaos, if you will. I know my exes have forced me to go on vacations before because I'm a workaholic. I just work. And so I value, they say women are chaos, but it's not necessarily negative, like an insult. I think it's a balance, because men are very orderly, and if we had it just straight up our way, we might be like under a tyranny or a tyrannical government with so much order that we can't breathe. But if women had it completely their way, it'd be complete anarchy, and there would be no rules or laws or nothing. And so I think we keep each other balanced, like the sun, the pressure pushing out and the gravity coming down in, and there we have the light from the sun that presents life on Earth. So
that's great. I like that. I like that.
I also think too, women think in terms of themselves in the moment.
Sure.
And I learned that with my husband. I think, I'll approach him with a question about something I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking about myself, how this might affect me. He's thinking of the entire situation, how this is going to work with the entire family. So I had to learn that too. He's thinking of a bigger picture than what I'm thinking. I had to learn that.
I think evolutionarily, it seems like, not to be sexist or nothing, but some women I've dated seem very short-sighted. And it seems like if you can think of a man and a woman standing next to each other, looking off into the distance, women are looking down at their feet, but it's evolutionarily, that's where the babies are. The women are looking down to take care of the babies and their most immediate needs right here, right now. Men are looking off in the horizon for the tiger or the leopard that's coming to kill us, and that's why we're maybe more far-sighted, and we don't take as many vacations and such. And that's why women maybe are more nearsighted to take care of home and such. And again, we find balance, I think. So you can't hate women for their nature. I think they are the way they are because that's the way God made them, if you believe in God. And I think men are the way we are because that's how God made us. And our relationships will come when both of us can kind of raise up and use our adult brain and not our reptile brain.
And also too, just to speak to that a little bit, I think we're gonna wrap up, y'all. The reason why I think women get out of hand is because the longer they're single, the longer they adopt a different, that mindset that we already kind of have. It's perpetuated. It gets worse because you're by yourself and you're leading yourself. So when the older you get, and the longer you're single, it's harder to be in a relationship with a man because you're set in that ideology or that mindset or whatever you want to call it. You're set in the way that you think, and it's harder for a man to even lead you in a way that he's always been accustomed to. You know what I'm saying? Like, show you his way. It's harder for you to
follow it.
Yeah, because now, that's why I think it's better if you want to be married and if you want to build a family, you should do it younger, not when you're 40, 50 years old, because you're set in your ways and your mentality. And
that's why.
It can lead to a lot of gaps, like in, breakups and then trying to find another relationship. I think the older you get, I'm sure for both men and women. So yeah, I do agree with that, DeeDee, I think. And I think, for both of us, the older we get, like, we are set in ways, but men are always, I would say, problem solvers, as far as the relationship aspect. So I believe that men will always try to figure out, okay, if this is stopping me from getting her, then it might prevent me from, like you said, the bigger picture. We kind of look at the bigger scope of it. So we kind of figure it out. But women don't really think to that point, because as you said, DeeDee, yourself, at certain times you didn't think of the bigger picture, but your husband did. And a woman who's single doesn't even have that support system to see, oh, my partner or my person is thinking bigger picture, so she can't learn it from anywhere. She's not learning any of this from anywhere, being single and maybe, I don't know, being with other friends or by herself who are also single. I think that can only be taught from a man. Like, it can't be taught from friends or a mother or even a therapist. It can't.
The brother's right.
Only a relationship can teach you that. Literally.
The brother's right. As a single man, I believe I'm too cheap to be a player, so I'm gonna just say it. I believe that a man should spend his money on one honey, but it has to be the right honey. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
Other than that, if she ain't sweet, she has to be back to the streets. You know.
But
Man, when's the album coming out?
Yeah. What difference does it make for a man to do what he does if the man goes outside of his nature? Every time a man goes outside his nature, it's disaster. It is disaster. You got men. You spent all your years creating your wealth, setting up your plan. Then all of a sudden, you get a woman come in, and let's say she try to change your plan, change direction.
Yeah.
It's up to you as the man to go, nope, this is my plan. We're staying on course. But no, the minute we go, okay, we'll try it your way, honey, then all of a sudden, thing breaks loose. And I'll go back and reference the Bible just for a second. What do you think would have been different if Adam would stay the course?
Everything.
What do you think would? Because Adam did not stay the course, they lost everything.
It's true.
But that's the first story to reverse it. You're saying if we go out of our nature, I'm saying what you're describing is transcendence
because he submitted to what she said.
That's my point exactly. Like I think our natural instinct as men is almost to play the simp. You ever met a simp and they just seem so stupid? That's like fundamental thinking. And once you raise up and raise above that, then you become that kind of guy who's, this is my order. That's where my boat is going. It's not turning any type of way. And if you want to be on it, it's leaving now. You know what I mean? That's transcendence. I don't think that's a man. I think that's a grown man's maybe learned behavior. A boy's natural behavior.
That is the only way. I've been the simp and submitted to the woman, and it turned out bad every time.
It does.
So
well, Adam showed us that.
But then now I'll tell a woman. Now they look at me. They want to be with me. I say, listen, in 2 weeks I'm going to Colombia, and I'm going to stay there for a week. If you want to join me, fine. But why can't we go? No, we're not. Why can't you can go? But I'm going here. If you want to be with me, you want to join me, fine. You're welcome to it. Next I know, she's with me.
Exactly.
That's a
Well,
point, yeah.
I don't think a lot of women are going to change until they need to have a talk with themselves. You know what I'm saying? They need to, as what they said in Romans 12:2, they need to be transformed and renewed in their mind and stop giving up their behind.
Well, see, now, I know, I'm going to go back on Mrs. DeeDee. I know Mrs. DeeDee. Now, sometimes you looked at your husband, you try to change the course.
Oh, for sure. Listen, but, I was just thinking, yes, hell yeah. Yeah, but he's like, nah, and that's what, and I didn't like it, though. That's what I was about to say. We don't like when because we take it, I take it as, he not listening to me. You don't think I know what I'm talking about? Like,
you don't have an opinion.
Like, I was able to have an opinion, but
I'm saying the feeling of it.
Yeah, like, oh well, you don't think I know what I'm talking about, but he was right. I didn't know what I was talking about. I didn't know. But
so when did you realize that part?
Well, I mean, when I made mistakes, when I did something, like I would do something trying to take it into, I talked about this before, try to do something, take it into my own hands and not wait for him and do it. And then I mess up something, or I didn't know. Oh, I forgot this, or I didn't. And then I keep messing up and I'm like, and he's like, well, see, I told you to wait. You're impatient. Cause I'm impatient sometimes when I'm impatient and I feel like I know best. I could do something. And not saying I can't do anything, but I'm good at what I'm good at. Like I'm good at the things that I do, not the things that he's. We want to feel like we're important too. I could do this too. I don't have to wait for you. I've been there, and honestly, if I'm gonna really be honest, every time I did that, I messed up something. I missed something, or it wasn't right, and then I had to wait for him to come home from work and be like, you know what? I went ahead and tried to do such and such, but I missed this. I didn't do it. Now we got to do it again. And he just looked at me. He just looked.
Yeah.
Like,
I think when a lot of women like act out of impulse in the height of their emotions, it just doesn't come off correctly.
No,
it doesn't come off correctly,
I don't know what it is.
and in certain situations, the man is not thinking, like he's not feeling in the height of his emotions. He's thinking about the situation, whereas she's, at a certain height in her emotions, so she believes this is the right thing to do, and then she becomes impatient, and distraught.
Look what Mrs. DeeDee did, though. Look what she did. Look what Mrs. DeeDee did. She said, "Okay, I messed up, but I trust him," and she stayed.
Yeah, she was able to bring it back, but DeeDee was able to bring it back. Right. That's the thing. From being in the height of emotion to be able to bring it back.
Now, gentlemen, let me ask you a question. What would you do with a woman that believed in you and trusted you? What would you do with her?
Keep her.
I would think about my every decision tenfold. How it be, does this benefit my woman as much as it benefits me? I would work my tail off.
Man,
if I knew my woman stood there and trusted me and said, "Hey, you got it, baby. I'm gonna follow you." I'm like, all right, let me not mess this up. Let me think twice. Measure twice, cut once. And that's all you gotta do. And I think it would put so much more responsibility on my heart that I wouldn't mess this up.
I think men will prioritize that woman to the core, just like a good basketball player. The coach is gonna prioritize them the most, make sure they're good in every single aspect. Or a good boxer,
But you know what I think too is key though. You don't want a woman who has pushed back and she's challenging you on everything. Like there's that's unacceptable. Not everything. Like you don't, my stuff was small stuff. I knew better. I trusted my husband because, he's had already shown what he was capable of doing. I didn't have no issues with him choosing, he could go and choose a house and I would be okay with the house that he chose. I don't have to even see it because I know he knows what he's doing, like that. But I'm saying like small things. I think with women, like I said, we go back and forth. It's like we like to challenge or push back on some things. Like, well, I could do this or whatever. And there's a reason why we shouldn't be responsible for certain things. Like, you know what I mean? Like certain things we should just leave that alone. He got that. Don't try to dip into his world. That's his world. I have my world. Just like certain things he wouldn't. He knows that I'm capable of doing. He don't bother that. Like you got that. I trust it. I don't even interfere. But with us, I don't know. I think it's in us to try, at least to try something. I don't know.
Yeah, of course. I think pushing back and challenging everything is definitely it's a lost cause for a man to invest in.
Yeah.
I don't think you should invest any type of emotional support or financial support in that. You can't build off of that. You can't. DeeDee's explained to us she was able to at times, maybe disagree with things, maybe be in her emotions, but she was kind of able to bring it back. She was able to push back very little from what it seems like, or just in certain moments, but it wasn't like a consistent thing of pushing back and trying to challenge everything.
Right.
Because
we're human beings, we don't know what we're doing. Nobody gave us a rule book on relationships and what you should.
Exactly.
We going through the motions. We figuring it out as we go. So it's like, this is why I tell people relationships is work, especially when you taking two people from two different backgrounds. You know what I mean? Y'all coming together, you're creating something together. So you got to know that that's going to be work. It's not going to always be peaches and cream, but you learn through it out. If you know that this is the person you truly want to be with and you love them, they love you, y'all have respect for each other. You understand that we want to be here. We want to be here because I think that's half the battle, knowing that you both want to be there. I said this before, if you're in a situation and you're not sure if you want to be there, then you're going to have issues. But if you know you want to be there, you're committed to it, you're not going anywhere regardless of what, y'all going to have issues. You work through them, you get past it. It's not a big deal. It doesn't last forever. You're like, okay, we have differences. We're not always sitting down kumbaya and all the time. No, we have disagreements. We've argued. You can't expect to be in a relationship with somebody for years and years and y'all not ever have a disagreement or an argument. That would be unrealistic. So you're gonna have issues, but you work through them, you sort through them, and you keep it moving. That's it. Because you're committed to being there. No matter what, y'all are still there. So that's you gotta want to be there. Because if there's any inkling of you thinking, I don't know if I want to be here, and then you start causing problems and start causing issues, then it's not going to work probably, you know.
Good
so that's
point.
my thoughts on that.
If y'all,
Yep.
if you men wanted a woman to either she loves
Take
you
care,
with all
Mark.
her
You
heart.
about to go, Mark?
Yeah, I got to eat my beans and franks. I got no woman cooking for me, so I could tell you thanks.
Be safe. Take care. Enjoy your food.
All right.
Enjoy.
All right. Take
All right,
care.
sir. Take it easy.
Which one would you rather have? A woman that loves you with all your heart, or a woman that respects you? You only can have one.
Most
The
men
one-
say respect.
I say respect.
Yep.
Respect.
Mm-hmm.
Respect. And I also say, you know, the pushback thing, I'm not God. I'm not infinitely wise. I'm okay with my wife telling me like, hey babe, did you consider this? Did you consider that? Like, let's okay, all right. I don't see that as push. I guess it's about how you push back. If you're like, well, this is why you stupid and this is why you wrong, like that's not gonna fly with me, you know. Like, but if you can come and say, I think of it like I'm the president, I'm the executive branch of my household, the state of Mauricio, and my wife and the children are something like Congress. You know, they can veto my bill. If I say, hey, we're going to Florida for vacation, my imaginary wife and children, they might tell me, well, let's do, why don't we do, I don't know, somewhere else for vacation? I'm like, okay, I guess my bill kind of got vetoed there a little bit because there should be, you got to listen to your girls. There's no world where you just don't listen to your girl, right?
Oh yeah.
But your girl got to listen to you too, you know, and so it just works both ways.
Of course.
I agree. That's what I was saying too. I hear some men, they're like, my way or the highway. Maverick used to say that. My way or the highway. Whatever I say goes. I say, okay, good luck with that. Good luck with that.
That's not gonna work for real.
Yeah, for a low self-esteem woman, yeah, it'll work. A person that don't got no don't have any no self-esteem, yeah, it'll work on them for a minute until they stab you in your neck.
It can be kind of hot sometimes when a woman pushes back on your idea a little bit and it kind of puts her hands on her hips and says, you know, like, nah, yeah, that's not gonna work. I'm like, okay, all right, she's thinking of something I haven't recognized. So let me incorporate this new information and keep it pushing.
And sometimes we just want y'all to listen to us. Sometimes we just want you to just hear what we got to say. We don't even be serious about stuff sometimes. It's just we feel we want to feel important. Remember, it's all about a feeling. It doesn't have to be for real. Just we want to feel good, like we know what we talking about. So if you let me say what I want to say, you just listen to me and just nod and look me in my eyes and just nod, and smile. Oh, okay. And we feel good about it. And after that, that's it. We move on to the next thing. Sometimes that's why I say you got to know women. You got to know the nature of women. Once you know that, you know it's a game we're playing. We're batshit crazy. We're confused. We don't be knowing what we want. We just want a certain feeling. Give us that feeling, and we good. You don't
make them calm.
Yeah, calm us down. It's a feeling. I know some men like, I don't have time to play these games. But when you're married to somebody, you appease them in that way because you know. Oh, I saw this video of this man. He was like, his wife was acting crazy and she was just hungry. He was like, he was ignoring what she was saying. Like, what do you want to eat? And she started saying it, and he was like, okay. And then she got the food and she was good. Like sometimes we're just hungry. Sometimes we just want their attention. Sometimes we just, we feeling a little weird because we go through our emotions and our feelings, and we just want attention from y'all. We just want just show us some love. Give us a hug sometimes. We just need a kiss on the forehead. Like we just need little small stuff to make us, we are crazy. So we need that validation. And I think when you've been with somebody for a long time, they know that. Like they just come over and give you a hug and then boom, I feel great again. Like, it's weird, but it's the truth. I'm saying sometimes we're just hungry. Get us something to eat.
That's why women are beautiful.
Come home with a candy bar. He know I liked candy at the time because he used to call me Snacks. I don't know if y'all remember that. He used to call me Snacks.
I told him Snacks.
Yeah, he used to call me Snacks. He said I like snacks because he didn't eat none of that, but he called me Snacks. So like, I just come home with a snack or something simple, and I'd be ecstatic. Like I'm good. Like if he thought I was in a mood or whatever, he just brings like simple stuff, really. And we just be needing attention. Like a lot of times, just show us a little attention when we looking crazy or acting crazy. We look like we got an attitude. Just need attention. We're crazy like that. Women are crazy.
I have a question.
There it is.
Go ahead.
Do we have to fear that voice box if you don't get your way?
Oh hell no! I don't use it. No, no, no. What you say? Will I use it?
Well, no, I'm just saying, would that be a natural thing in a woman if they don't get attention? What do you
Oh
mean?
no, no,
Sonic Boom. No, I'm joking.
no, no, no.
I said Snickers.
I said Snickers. I know, right?
Oh
Sound like
hell no!
Thanos.
That sounds evil. That
Hey,
sounds
my mom used to tell me, I'm like, Mom, I don't understand these girls. She'd be like, you don't gotta get it, you just gotta get it.
right.
And I think I understand that now. I'm like, why
Exactly.
is she was crying and then I hugged her and now she's just like skipped off and
Boom.
she's laughing now.
Exactly.
You know?
That's our crazy nature. It's just that, it's to it could go to another level now. Now, like you said earlier, Mauricio, you was like, it shouldn't be no name calling and disrespecting and all. No, that's something else. Because I don't think you need to go to that level of cussing somebody out and calling them out their names no, that ain't
toxic.
That's toxic. I'm not talking about toxicity. I'm talking about just the nature of women, how our emotions and our feelings can control us sometimes. And that's why I think we need our man to regulate us. Come over, give me that hug or a kiss or give me something I like. It could be a burger. It could be anything. I'm not talking about going and spending all this money. Not like that. Just something simple.
Hot
that
Cheetos.
she likes and that's it. Change her. She's smiling and she happy and she back to normal. Like that's why I say women are inherently crazy, but
So let me ask you a question, DeeDee. I want to
Yeah.
ask you something
Yeah.
like that you're saying that because I don't want to forget.
Uh-huh.
Then, do you think? Come listen to what you said. Do you think women are able to emotionally regulate other women's emotions? Like, let's just say two girlfriends, two besties.
That's what we call a positive
Regulated
feedback loop.
or maybe because
To teach that, then they're able to teach that, like what men have to do on a day to day. Like in relationships anyway. Do you think like two girlfriends are able to, while they're single, able to emotionally regulate each other?
I guess. I mean, I guess.
You got studs beating each other up, lesbian relationships. I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that too. Yeah, this is why I'm asking the question.
Okay.
You can go ahead though, class. Yeah, on that.
Regulate her emotions to like bring her back, to a certain. I guess.
I don't know, and the reason why I say I don't think so because. In today's world, the most violent relationships is between the actual women.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah, statistically, yeah.
I don't know. I think it has to be somebody that you're in a relationship with that you respect and love. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think women normally just gas each other up on their delusion, and we get this runaway feedback loop where they just get more and more crazy because they're co-signing on each other.
That's the opposite. Then. That's the opposite.
Yeah, it might be the opposite.
Right? And men are more, like she said, they need women to kind of regulate them in a way, and like almost a stabilizing factor, like a rudder on a boat or something. So I think,
if it was true, I'm just saying, if it was true and majority of women were able to emotionally regulate each other, then all of those women who are single should be ready when they enter a relationship with a man. There shouldn't be any issue there in that area.
We would hope, but it seems like women with fathers are more regulated than women with just mothers. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. That's why when again, not to Bible thump, but it said stuff gets weird when men are alone for too long. And that's why God created Eve, right? Because it's not good for men to be alone. I think it's the same thing with women. It's not good for women to be alone or with just women.
I was about to say
that's when you get the church. You ever go to black churches, man? It's just nothing but sisters who are telling each other all this bad advice and they sound crazy. Just like guys sound crazy sometimes when we spend too much time maybe in an echo chamber and everyone just affirms everything we say and doesn't correct us. I think women are more emotional and they don't want to upset nobody, so they're just going to agree with what their girlfriend said. Like, yeah, girl, go key his car and set fire to his home.
I would be afraid to go to a church full of women. It would be like the first time when they released the movie Waiting to Exhale.
Find me a church that's not mostly women.
Yeah,
I'm with you on that. I agree.
Yeah. You can't leave women to their own devices for too long.
But
We'll conjure up a whole false narrative and be mad at you when you get home.
But they're
Oh,
doing
yes.
that now, even being single, like on jobs and stuff. They're
Yeah.
just cooking up crazy stuff. And I'm thinking if the more women stay single, I'm thinking it's gonna go wrong for us as men. Because when I look at these YouTube videos and how they just getting upset and they single, men ain't nothing. I'm thinking one of these days they're gonna beat one of us up or delete us just because we exist.
Yeah, they crazy. All right, y'all.
But
I gotta
I'm gonna
end
get
this.
out of here.
Okay.
Take it easy.
Take care. Y'all be safe. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you guys.
Appreciate your time.
Appreciate you having me, guys, as well.
Enjoy your weekend.
All right.
Take care, Ms. DeeDee.
Stay blessed, guys. Have a good one. Take care.
Y'all be safe.
Y'all be safe. Cuidate.
Courtney Edgar Show. Thank you so much for the super chat. Says shout out to you, DeeDee. Keep pushing, love the content. Thank you. I appreciate you for that. Successful MD also said she could simply just be loose, be realistic. Thank you, Successful MD. Shout out to everybody who gave super chats and supported the channel. I appreciate you. Marini, I hope I'm saying that right, says, if Christ is the head of men and men the head of his wife, why do men expect women to be submissive if men don't submit to Christ? That's a good question. I wish I would have got to it sooner so they could answer it, but thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody watching. Shout out to everybody who supports the channel. Make sure you guys are watching the videos that are posted on the channel. Make sure you continue to share, like, and subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on your notification bell to be notified when I upload new content. Yeah, I will be back really soon, hopefully sooner than later, but if not, make sure you enjoy your weekend. Y'all be safe, and I will see y'all really soon, you guys. Make sure you go over and watch the videos and at least put a comment and like the videos as well. All right. So thank y'all for being here. I appreciate everybody who joined the live stream. Shout out to you guys. Y'all be safe. Take care. And I will catch y'all in the next one. Mwah. See you later. Bye.